kept to the shadows, a face unseen, too shy to speak, yet, too cringe. Zara, how's the poem? I'm going live in 60 seconds. Just a few minutes. I'm almost done. Hi, I'm Zara, writer, overthinker, professional shadow dweller. And that's Maya, my stepsister. Same age, but from opposite planets. Oh, my sweet little Shakespeare. Give me the goods. My mom married her dad a year ago. Maya's a mega social media star with millions of followers, viral videos, and because she was always sharing lovely poems, her fans call her the word queen. Everyone praised Maya's talents online and at school, but no one knew the real poet was me. The words were mine, but the applause was hers. Even though I wish I could hear those words of praise, I know it's just not possible. Even if I wanted to perform, I couldn't. I dreamed of being published one day, maybe under a pen name, just like my favorite poet. LK, who dropped his first collection at 14 without anyone even knowing what he looked like. I'm painfully shy. I literally fainted during open mic once. I don't even raise my hand in class, even when I know the answer. I couldn't even share my poetry in front of my parents. I just didn't have the courage. In the meantime, at least I knew my poems were good, thanks to Maya. We got along. Our parents got along. Life was chill. But all that was about to change, in the most epic way possible. It was in the 11th grade. I was drafting a new poem for Maya when I saw him. The most handsome guy I had ever seen walked into my classroom. Everyone, welcome Liam. He just transferred to our school. Ooh, he's gorgeous! Maya could be so shameless when it came to boys. But this time, yeah, I couldn't even blame her. The guy looked like he walked straight out of a Korean movie. Liam, would you like to introduce yourself? Despite all the eyes on him, Liam walked straight to the back of the class, picked an empty seat, and buried his head in his arms like no one else existed. And Maya didn't take not being noticed too well. Well. Hey, new guy. Liam, right? I'm Maya, school queen and your future girlfriend. He ignored her. Like, actually ignored her. Which for someone like Maya was basically a public slap in the face. Fine, be that way then. You will be begging me to date you in no time. Seeing a guy turn Maya down for the first time was epic. But seriously, couldn't the guy talk? It didn't take long for rumors about him being mute to start spreading. Honestly, I started believing it too. He never spoke, never reacted. Until a month later, and that's when everything changed. In my quest to hopefully conquer my overt shyness, I joined the school's poetry club. And it had been fine so far, but what I didn't expect was to see Liam show up at my club. Does anyone have a beautiful poem they'd like to share with the class this week? It could be something you've written yourself or a poem by a poet you love. I always had something, but sharing it out loud, in front of people, I still hesitated almost every time. Liam quietly volunteered, and for the first time I heard his voice.
In the quiet I bloom. No stage, no lights, no room. Just a whisper and a pen. Again and again.
His voice was soft and steady. And that poem, I knew it. It wasn't his original. It was written by LK, my favorite poet ever. Was he a fan of LK too? Was this fate? I stayed up all night thinking about him. I wanted to talk about poetry, life, weather, anything. Or maybe we could write a poem together. Or, get married. Now I knew he could talk. I made an effort to talk to him, and it backfired full time. The poem you read yesterday was beautiful. Why don't you speak up more often?
Asking me why I don't talk often when you barely speak? Pretty hypocritical, don't you think?
Wait, so he had noticed me? He probably just thought I was the shy, quiet type, which was true. But that wasn't all I wanted him to know about me. If he's so into poetry, maybe the only way to get his attention is with a poem. So I wrote one. An honest, personal confession of admiration. Maybe even feelings. I'd slip it into his locker before the club's meeting tomorrow. Even if he might ignore it, I had to try. But the next morning, I couldn't find the poem anywhere. Has anyone seen the pink paper sheet on my desk?
What's wrong, honey?
Maybe the wind blew it away. Nobody had any clue, and I was running late, so there wasn't time to rewrite. But later at school, Maya burst into the cafeteria holding that exact pink note. Everyone, listen up! I have something important to say, especially to you, Liam. It was my poem, my feelings, but in her voice. Hearts don't speak, but mine will. One glance and I'm undone. Say the word and I'm the one. Maybe Liam liked it.
You wrote that? I didn't think you were the poetry type. So, why aren't you in the poetry club?
Everything inside me shattered. My poem, my crush, gone, taken from me. I felt used, betrayed. Seeing them hang out after that hurt. And the worst part, I couldn't confront her without our parents getting involved. But I couldn't just let it slide. Sweet sister, I'm going live in 10 minutes. Got a poem for me? I'm not feeling very poetic today. Do something else for your fans. Wait, what? You always have a poem. Geez, I don't know, maybe because you've already stolen them all? Like the last one, remember? Daddy! As expected, she went running to Dad.
Zara, get down here!
But this time, I wasn't going to put up with the unfairness anymore. Even with all of Maya's tricks to make our parents believe I was the bully, I wasn't afraid anymore.
Why didn't you help your sister?
I had actual schoolwork, and maybe I just didn't feel like being used today.
The least you could do is support my daughter's dreams.
Oh, so you don't see me as your daughter too, huh? What about my dreams?
Zara?
No, Mom, I'm done with being Maya's personal poet. When do I get to matter? She stole something that meant everything to me.
Stole what? What are you talking about?
That poem I was looking for? Maya took it and performed it like it was hers, in front of Liam. That poem was personal. My confession. Maya looked at me like I was gum on her shoe. And I performed it better.
Maya! Don't speak to my daughter like that. Oh, now she's your daughter again?
See what I said about my parents not getting along if Maya and I didn't get along? That was it. The world thinks I wrote it. Liam clearly liked it. Be real, Zara. Even if you wrote him 1,000 poems, you'd never have the guts to say one out loud. You don't have the guts. Even my parents were staring after her in shock. They probably never knew how selfish she was till now. Her laugh echoed in my brain for hours. And right then, I knew I was done being quiet. It was time to step out of the dark. I started small, spoke up more in class, lifted my eyes when I answered, and the teacher praised me for the progress I'd made. During a class discussion about LK's most iconic poems, the teacher once again seemed eager to hear my thoughts.
Zara, what do you think LK meant by this poem?
Oops, everyone don't look at Zara. If you look at Zara, she freezes up like a statue and goes totally silent. And then the whole class burst into laughter, throwing mocking looks my way. It's about guilt. You can feel it, like he's haunted by something he did. The room went quiet. Everyone was gaping at me, including Liam.
Wow, that was a bold interpretation. But, you're not quite right. Thoughts, Liam? That's exactly what it's about.
Wait, what?
How can you be sure? Because I wrote it. LK. Liam Clint. That's me. Well done, Zara.
The room exploded. Everyone wanted his autograph. I couldn't believe my ears. He was the child prodigy who published an inspiring collection of poems at 14. No wonder I was so drawn to him. Something shifted after that. Liam and we started talking. Books, lyrics, stupid grammar jokes. He even asked me to read his upcoming poetry collection. We had that kind of spark that just came naturally. Maya sensed it and started being even meaner than ever before. She spread rumors that I had a crush on the librarian and even made fun of my secondhand shoes. I paid her no mind, thinking she'd get bored eventually. Until she crossed the line. A classmate was having a party and invited everyone. Maya convinced me that the themes was 80s chic, but when I arrived, it was a pool party and everyone else was in bikinis. I wanted to melt into the pool and never come out. But what came out of her lips next was even more shocking. Look at her, Liam. Always awkward. She's my sister and I can't even deal with her sometimes.
How can you say that about your sister?
Liam, come on. You and I? We make sense. Talented poets. Can you imagine the internet when you and I, the famous LK, and the social media rising star performed together? We'd be the ultimate power couple. That was the last straw. You? A poet? Do you have a problem with that? Yeah, I challenge you to a poetry battle. Tomorrow, at school. Are you sure you can speak without fainting? Don't worry about me. No more moping. Time to fight fire with poetry. After coming home, I locked myself in my room all evening. Fueled by determination, I poured my heart into verses I knew would reclaim my dignity and expose Maya's lies. When the battle began, Maya insisted on going first, calling it an act of bravery. Fine by me. Let's see how much longer she can keep up this act. This poem is special. It's called Mirrored Lies. I wear her face, but not her soul. I want the boy, but it plays no role. Talentless. Afith, you may. Her voice started shaking. Oh yeah, she just realized too late that the poem was about her. I stole her voice? What nonsense did you write here, Zara? Oh, so now it belongs to me? I stole it from you! Guys, it's just a mistake. Zara probably set me up because she was afraid to lose. I couldn't believe she could be that shameless. And then the screen behind her lit up, playing the footage of how she had snuck into my room and stolen my work. The entire auditorium erupted, whispers spreading like wildfire. How could you? If you didn't want to be caught, you shouldn't have done it. The hidden camera got everything. I know you too well, sis. That trap was mine. Time to end your years of lies.
So, it's just as I suspected. Zara writes the poems and you recite them like they're yours, huh? I knew it. The way you talk is too shallow for someone who loves poetry.
Maya ran like the devil was after her. As she did, our eyes met for just a second. With her gone, it was my turn to sing. My hands were trembling. My throat was dry. But I was done watching from backstage while someone else took the credit. This is for the ones who were told to shrink so others could shine. Who owns a story if it's told by another? I took a deep breath, embraced the emotion, and began reading the poem I poured my soul into. You took what was mine and made it your crown. I spoke about being the soul behind the spotlight that never touched me until now. My words aren't yours to keep, to mold, to bend. This theft ends now, Maya. This is the end. I got a standing ovation. I took the risk. And this time, I shined. From that day on, the tables turned. Maya could only stare as her followers vanished one by one. All the people who followed me for my poetry have gone. It's all your fault.
Zara's poetry, you mean? Next time, try writing your own words. And I think you still owe Zara an apology.
I thought you were on my side. I'm your beloved daughter.
Zara is my daughter, too. We spoiled you, made you think everything should be yours. But life doesn't work like that.
Dad, do something about these two now!
How could you treat my precious daughter like that? So only your daughter is precious, huh? Then you can both pack your things and leave our house right now. I guess we're not valuable enough for you to stay with.
Mom's reaction caught me off guard. I never thought she could change so quickly. Dad and Maya left the house in anger, unable to stand her unwavering stare.
I'm truly sorry for neglecting you all this time. I failed as a mother. But please, give me a chance to make it up to you.
We held each other tightly, bursting into tears, an embrace that quietly healed what time had broken. That night, I uploaded my poems under my real name and social media lit up. This gave me goosebumps, realest thing I've heard in a while. At last, I found the confidence I had lost, and this time I had my mom by my side, truly caring. That made me happy. I was a different Zara now. Zara who knew her worth.
I've been thinking, for my next collection, do you think we could collab?
What? Are you for real?
Yeah, I'll have my manager draft something up. We split the revenue, creative control. I just want to duet with you. That poem was fire.
Oh my god! Was he catching feelings? Okay, play it cool, girl. Sounds good, but I still haven't gotten your autograph.
Autograph? I was thinking of asking you on a date.
Yes! Oh god, yes. It's a date. Helping each other shine is kind, but never let your own light dim just to keep someone else glowing.
Wow, the International Ballet Contest is being held in New York this year! Oh my god, that must be spectacular! But... oh, how different my life was 5 years ago. I just won the City Ballet Contest, and Dad wouldn't stop grinning with pride. To celebrate, he was driving to get us ice cream. When suddenly, I don't remember much about that day after that. But I lost him. As for me, I survived, but I was left with life-changing injuries. Since then, ballet was no longer a part of my life. And over there is Aunt Robin and my cousin Nancy. They're super excited about the competition. I swear, Nancy has tried on 15 dresses already. Both my aunt and my mum, when she was alive, were gifted ballerinas. So, naturally, Nancy also inherited the ballet genes. She's now a student of the New York City Ballet. This is something I've always wished for, but now can only dream about. Suddenly, a slamming door and shouting startled me. Joyce, open the door! It's me, Dylan! I opened the door and stared wide-eyed at... Huh? Dylan, my half-brother. The last time I saw him was 5 years ago. when my stepmother took him away. What's he doing here? Before I'd had time to react or invite him inside, he rushed over to me. Sis, you have to save me. I'm gonna have to stay here, okay? What? Absolutely not. Do you have any idea whose house this is? So, it turns out his mom is a gambling addict. So she was in debt and on the run from thugs. Poor Dylan didn't have anyone else to turn to. I managed to persuade my aunt to let Dylan stay with us, although she was adamant that this was only temporary until his mom was found. Being a typical kid hitting their puberty phase, Dylan was not the easiest person to live with. And guess who had to cover for him each time? Yep, me. Last week, he broke the whole stack of dishes. Yesterday, he stuck chewing gum in Nancy's hair. And today, he left his skateboard in the middle of the living room and caused Aunt Robin to fly across the room and land flat on her face. Ouch. Dylan, you have to be more careful. I'll be leaving for college soon, so I won't be here to cover for you. He'll kick you out if you're still like this. Huh? College? Do you mean boring business administration? I thought you liked ballet, don't you? No, that was just the past. Now I don't like it. At all. I don't believe you. Is it just 'cause you're sitting on a wheelchair? Who says being in a wheelchair means you can't continue pursuing your passion for ballet? This left me dumbfounded. His words had awakened something in me, but the reality is not that simple. So I sadly replied, It's not just that. I don't have any money either. I tried to apply for some part-time jobs, but they don't accept people with disabilities. Sensing my unhappiness at talking about this, Dylan immediately changed the topic. Okay, let's just forget about those dumb things. Tomorrow, I'm gonna take you shopping. Oh, it's been a long time since I visited the mall. Dylan kept asking me if I like this, like that, but we don't have enough money. Ugh, why doesn't Aunt Robin give us pocket money? Dylan looked so cute at that moment, so I just sat there and laughed, while he frowned and pouted. Then, Dylan suddenly told me to stay still. When he closed his eyes and fumbled around towards two people who looked kinda rich, and told them, Please help us. We have nothing left to eat this week. Please? Oh my God. What was my brother playing at? I froze and couldn't do anything besides look down at the floor. The woman took out the money and was about to hand it to him. But the guy swiped her hand, causing the bill to fall to the ground. Dylan quickly picked it up. Oh my. The man immediately grabbed his wrist. Busted! He threatened to take us to the cops and even asked me to stand up, as he thought I was also pretending. Luckily, the woman said they were in a rush, so they wouldn't make it complicated, so finally they left us alone. We came home, but our hearts were still pumping hard, and I could see Dylan's legs were trembling. Then we went inside to see that my aunt had guests. I gawped when I saw who they were. The rich people from the mall! The four of us goggle-eyed at each other in shock. Turns out that woman, Bernie, was my aunt's friend, and the man with her was her son, Philip. They're both famous ballet dancers. Talk about awkward atmosphere! But Nancy seemed oblivious to the tension, as she was too busy fluttering her eyelashes at Philip and twirling her hair around her finger. But the strange thing was, even with my lowered gaze, I could still see Philip looking at me. Then he suddenly asked me, How long have you been like this? I mean, no offense. I'm just curious. So, Aunt Robin started telling them about my life and my condition. Hearing that, Bernie got emotional. She looked at me for a second and asked, Sweetie, how are things going for you? Are you still doing ballet? No. She's interested in business now. She'll enroll this fall. Bernie paused for a while, then smiling said, Oh, that's great. I'm happy that you found yourself something you love. I don't know why I felt so sad, so I excused myself to leave the table. Dylan followed me and handed me an envelope. I looked inside and, it was full of money. "I only have this much, but please take it and go take ballet classes again." My heart stopped. How could he afford it? But then he didn't give me time to say anything when he took the money back, saying, "Oh, or just let me enroll you." And surprisingly, he really did. Dylan found a center that had scholarships for students with disabilities. Since then, I went back to the ballet. It was like I was alive again. Every day I was eager to wake up to follow my passion. And I was also practicing for the International Ballet Contest in New York. One time after practice, I saw someone over by the door, watching me. Philip. I didn't know why, but as soon as I spotted him, my heart fluttered. He walked over to me, and we started talking. Turns out, he teaches at this center. After that, he always spent time helping me during practice, and we seemed to be a good pair. But good things didn't last long. That day I was practicing with Philip when a voice called out, "Joyce, why are you here?" I turned around startled to see a glaring Nancy standing at the door of the practice room. It turns out that Nancy came to meet and greet with her students in our center and accidentally spotted Philip helping me. Maybe she was upset because we looked quite close? After that, we met in the bathroom. Then Nancy asked me, "I know you don't have $1 to your name, so who gave you money for this?" "Oh, it was Dylan." "Stop telling lies. He's just some dumb kid. I hardly imagine he has a spare $1,500 to pay for 6 months of lessons." "You asked Phil to pay for you, right?" "Stop acting weak to get other sympathy. That doesn't sound like something my sweet cousin would normally do, does it?" So, did Dylan lie to me? This course isn't a scholarship for people with disabilities? No way! I immediately packed my stuff to go home and to speak to Dylan about this. But on my way out, I bumped into Philip. So I asked him if it's true there's no such scholarship at this center. But he just sighed and led me to a quiet place to talk. And you know what? He admitted that it's him who actually had planned out everything with Dylan, and even said that he liked me and wanted to help me. I was shocked, but deep down, I was also kinda happy hearing that, as I did like him. But I felt like I was a burden, and Nancy also liked him, so I rejected him. Nancy wasn't the same after that. Whenever our eyes met each other, she tutted, then looked away. Then one time, I found my ballet shoes soaked in coffee. And another time there was even a note in my bag saying, "Don't chase after Philip, 'cause you can't run, LOL. It had to be my lovely cousin who did these things, right? I felt upset a bit at first, but I didn't have time for her games. I had a competition to practice for. Then, the day before the performance, I arrived home to overhear Aunt Robin in the living room FaceTiming Bernie. "Hey, you should send more money. Joyce is partaking in a ballet competition this time, so it's rather costly." "Really? But you told me she wasn't interested in ballet anymore. In any case, why didn't she take the ballet scholarship for the New York City Ballet?" "Stop going off topic. Remember, you were the culprit to the death of my brother-in-law and the legs of my niece. So, you have to take the blame for this whole life. And now you can't even see fit to spare what is loose change for you to fund her dream?" What? What were they talking about? I was so shocked that I dropped my grocery bag on the floor. Aunt Robin turned around and saw me. Realizing I'd overheard everything, she beckoned me into the room and told me the whole tragic story. It turns out that the person who caused the accident was none other than Bernie. She'd crossed the road without looking, which caused my dad to steer to avoid her and crash into a tree. After that, she ran away, as she was so panicked and feared that it would affect her reputation. Through her friendship with Aunt Robin, she knew about my situation and still had been sending monthly money to compensate for me. What about the scholarship Miss Bernie was talking about? Well, you can't attend that school anyway, so it's better to let Nancy take it, isn't it? What? I can't believe my aunt would do that! She knows how much I love ballet! I've always thought Aunt Robin was so good to give me a home, when in reality, she was using me, so Bernie would invest in Nancy's ballet career. The word disappointment cannot fully describe my feelings at that moment. The hurt was almost unbearable. I woke up feeling dreadful, but I forced myself to get ready and headed to the competition. It was bustling there, just like me inside. I didn't bother to watch the other performances until Nancy's. She was very graceful, and the judges said she did very well. However, I felt like it was missing something. And now, it was my turn. I looked down to the crowd and saw there was Bernie, Dylan, and Philip. They all smiled and clapped their hands when the MC called my name. I took a deep breath and was about to go out on the stage when, passing me, Nancy leaned over and whispered, "Philip doesn't really care about you. He just feels guilty about what his mom did. Don't go embarrass him by messing up." Suddenly, I felt like I couldn't move. I forgot all the movements, and the world was spinning around. But a familiar voice woke me up. "Joyce, you're better than this. We're all here for you, so don't be scared. You're the light. Don't let the dark bother you. Let's shine and show them what you have." I was so touched, and it worked. I regained my spirit and just went with the flow. Like a swan that had been restrained for so long, I just did what I wanted to do. I didn't care about anything, anyone. This moment, I'll live for myself. And maybe the judges felt that too. I burst with happiness to hear that. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest is Joyce Baker. Everyone came to congratulate me, including Bernie. She tried to fight back tears as she apologized for everything. The past is the past, and I know what happened was a terrible accident. It's something she will always have to live with, and that seems penance enough. So I hugged her and told her it was okay, because what matters was that I could dance again, and it felt fantastic. So what's next? Well, I didn't go to business school. Instead, I'm continuing with my ballet. I'm also undergoing treatment for my condition, and I hope that one day I will be able to be up there on stage, performing with Philip. Speaking of Philip, thanks to his help, Dylan and I moved into our own house. And Dylan has just got a scholarship into a prestigious high school, which he seems to be enjoying. Oh, and one more thing. Philip and I are now officially dating. And this is it. The happy ending of my fairy tale. Guys, keep chasing your dream, despite hardship, because all good things are waiting for you at the end of the tunnel.
I'd just climbed back into the room when suddenly I heard a voice. "Jasmine, how come you're only getting home now?" I turned around to find Emma standing there. "That's my business. Don't come home late like this again, okay? You'll be grounded if your dad finds out." I shrugged and closed my door without saying anything. Yep, that's Emma, my stepmom. She doesn't actually care, she just pretends to. If it wasn't for her telling my dad to forbid me from singing, then I wouldn't have to sneak out to go practice like this. Different day, same story. Yet again, I've had to lie about going to my singing practice. Honestly, I can't wait to be an adult so I can do whatever I want. "Dad, I'm going over to Mix to study," I said as I headed for the door. Suddenly, Emma pulled me back and handed me a bottle. "Huh? Licorice tea? Drink this after practicing. It helps keep your voice clear." Then she winked at me. Huh? So she knew I'd lied about where I was going, yet still she'd helped me? Maybe, just maybe, I've been misunderstanding her this whole time? Later that night, Emma suggested we should go for a picnic on the weekend, and for once, I excitedly agreed. But when the weekend rolled around, there was this hectic snowstorm. Emma kept looking out at the snow with disappointment written across her face. That's when the idea hit me. How about we have an indoor picnic? Yes, that's right. That's a great idea. And so we set up the tent right in our living room, and we were having the best time when suddenly the doorbell rang. I got up to answer it, and standing there covered in snow was a woman. She suddenly ran at me and said, "Oh my gosh, Jasmine, you've grown up so fast! I've missed you so much!" Before I could understand what was going on, Dad shouted, "Megan, I can't believe you have the nerve to show up here like this. I know you won't accept my apology, but you don't understand. I had to see her. I've missed her every single day." Oh my God. So, that woman was my mother? I couldn't hold back my tears and ran straight over to hug her. I swear I'd been waiting for this moment for years. Mom gently stroked my hair and then turned to my dad. "Can I stay here for a while? Just to make it up to my beloved daughter after such a long time being apart, Elvis?" "Are you joking? Get out of my house!" "Dad, please let her stay. Please." But no matter how much I begged, Dad wouldn't give in. And so I turned to Emma for help. "Elvis, just let her stay here. If Jasmine wants to be with her mom this badly, we should let them have some time together. Come on, darling." I looked at Emma with so much appreciation, then turned those puppy eyes towards my dad, and eventually he reluctantly nodded his head. "Yay!" I shouted and led Mom to my room. From that day onwards, I spent most of my free time with her. We went to the movies together, shopping together, and honestly, it was the happiest I'd ever felt. One day, I was listening and humming along to my music when Mom came in. "Wow, so you also love singing?" It must be genetic. Back then, if I hadn't been so passionately obsessed with music, which drove your dad crazy, I might never have left you like that. Now I regret it so much, Jasmine. I put my arms around her and softly said, "After all these years, I still think about that lullaby. Can you sing it to me?" "Which one?" "I sang you many lullabies back then. It's Don't Know Why by Nora Jones." "Oh, right, that one." Then she started singing. I swear to God, her voice was like an angel. But strangely, it didn't give me any of the feelings I had as a kid. Was it because I have grown up? While I was absorbed in my thoughts, I suddenly saw Emma's shadow at my doorway. But when she met my eyes, she hurried down the stairs. Huh? Why was Emma crying? I was so confused. "She must be jealous of our relationship," Mom said. "Yeah, probably, since she'd been married to my dad for 3 years, but we'd never been close." That evening, when I went to the kitchen with Mom to set the table, she suddenly shouted, "Oh my gosh! Why did Emma make chicken parmigiana? Doesn't she know that your dad hates this?" Then she took the plate and threw it in the trash, saying she would order takeaway instead. Huh? Dad hates this? He always complimented Emma on her signature dish. Before I could react, Emma entered the room. As soon as she saw her chicken in the trash, she glared at Mom. Things then got so awkward. Emma had skipped dinner. Mom also tried to start a conversation with Dad a few times, but he ignored her. I felt so bad for Mom. In my dad's eyes, there was only Emma now. But my mother had done nothing wrong. She just wanted to pursue her passion. Later that night, I was heading to the pantry to get some snacks when I heard Emma yelling at Mom. "Megan, for old time's sake, I didn't bring up anything from the past, but you can't just do whatever you want." How dare Emma yell at my mom like that? As soon as Emma left, I ran over to my mom asking her what had happened. She hesitated for a while, then told me the whole story. It turned out Mom and Emma used to be in the same band when they were young. And since Mom was always the lead singer, Emma had begrudged her ever since. Perhaps she has never gotten over it. I didn't expect Emma to be so mean. So from that day on, I began to show my attitude towards Emma. I didn't let her go to the parent-teacher conference like I had promised before, and I even forbade Mick, my best friend, from talking to her every time he came over. "Mom, how did you and Dad meet back in the day?" "Well, back then, your dad was a waiter at the lounge I used to sing at every weekend. We quickly fell in love and started leaving love letters for each other at our secret spot." Ew, how cheesy. "It's called romantic, you silly. At that time, we put our initials at the end of every letter." Suddenly, there was some noise at the door, and I turned to see Dad standing right behind us. "What do you mean, our initials? It represented our 2 favorite characters' names from that movie." "Yes, It was the initials of Monica and Quincy in the movie Love and Basketball. Dad gaped at Emma in surprise as she continued. I was the one writing letters to you that year. But when I got to the meeting spot, I saw you and Megan together, so I left. Dad and Emma looked at each other, then turned to stare at Mom. Actually, back then I liked you so much that I pretended to be Emma, but it's not that important. In the end, you were still into me and we got along really well, right? I can't believe you'd lie to me like this for all these years! Then Dad angrily left the room, followed by Emma. As for Mom, she was sitting there, tears pouring from her eyes. Okay, so Mom was definitely in the wrong, but did Dad need to treat her like that? Who doesn't make mistakes from time to time? And anyway, it's because of my mom's mistake that I'm even here, right? From that day onwards, the atmosphere in the house was so intense. Dad ignored Mom, and Emma always gave Mom hateful looks. Until one day, I'd just gotten home from school when I saw my dad excitedly running towards me saying, "Emma is pregnant. You're going to have a little brother or sister." Wow, I'd always wanted to have a sibling. I couldn't believe it. So that night, my family threw a party to celebrate, and Mom also congratulated Dad and Emma. And thanks to that, the tension between the three of them started to ease. Phew. But a few days later, for some reason, Dad found out that I'd lied about going studying with Mick. He was furious and grounded me for a week. I was sullenly playing on my iPad when Mom entered the room. Emma must be the snitch. Now that she's pregnant, she wants Dad to be angry with you, so he'll give all his love to her and the baby. Well, that just made sense. The other day, I'd even seen Emma whispering something to Dad, and as soon as he heard it, he got mad. Ugh, such a two-faced woman. I had to sort this out, and so I set up a fun plan for my stepmom. One time, I made her orange juice using powdered cheese, and she ended up spitting it out all over Dad. Then I unscrewed the shower head to add blue food coloring, and that's how I gave her a Smurf makeover. It was hilarious hearing her horrid scream from the bathroom. Another time, I snuck into Emma's room, trying to put flour in her hairdryer. I was rummaging through the bedside table looking for her hairdryer when suddenly I saw a DVD labeled Jasmine 0311. Huh? What's this? Why was my name on it? Curious, I went back to my room to play it, and then I couldn't believe my eyes. On the screen, Emma was carrying a baby and singing a lullaby to her. This melody. Wasn't it the song Don't Know Why? So that baby was me? But Emma couldn't sing, could she? Her voice was weak and sounded hoarse. What did this mean? I rushed to show my dad the DVD. Emma told me not to talk about this, but since you already know, I won't hide it anymore. Then he told me everything. Turns out my mom left for a rich man when I was only 2 years old, and it was Emma who came and helped my dad take care of me during my younger years. Oh my gosh. What? So all those memories of my mom's warm hugs and lullabies were all actually of Emma? A feeling of guilt welled up in my heart. I had to do something to apologize to Emma. So the next day, I asked Mick to go to the mall to help me buy her a gift. As I was passing a coffee shop, I suddenly saw my mom sitting with some guy. Without thinking much, I quickly pulled Mick to a nearby table and eavesdropped on them. Honey, how's the money? You know how pushy the creditors are, and they're getting kinda aggressive. Don't worry, it won't be long now. My daughter's on my side. She'll help me kick her stupid stepmom out. Then my ex-husband will soon follow her wish and volunteer to give me money. What? What was going on? Had Mom come back just for Dad's money? I was about to go confront her when my phone rang. It was Dad. Jasmine, go to the hospital right away. Emma is in the emergency room. By the time I got there, I saw my dad sitting outside the ER with his head in his hands. After a while, the doctor came out and said, "Both mother and baby are okay. Next time, please pay more attention to the patient's food allergy." How could you eat stuff you're allergic to? You must be more careful, okay? Yeah, Emma always took good care. It didn't make sense. Unless my mom... I was about to tell Dad about what I'd seen at the mall when Mom suddenly appeared, eagerly asking about Emma's situation. Unable to stand her pretense any longer, I shouted, "Mom, drop the act. It was you who did all of this, wasn't it?" Jasmine, what nonsense are you uttering? Furious, I immediately told them the whole story I've heard. Megan, I could forgive you for the old letter story and for trying to sabotage my voice, But the fact that you wanted to harm my baby is unforgivable. It turns out the stuff from the past that she mentioned before was that my mom harmed her to destroy her voice. So that's why Dad didn't let me sing, for fear that it would cause Emma pain. Suddenly Mom burst out laughing. I don't need your pity. You were so lucky to have such a beautiful voice and a wonderful man by your side. And even now, you're still trying to take the life that should have been mine. Megan, give it up already. You need to stop this. Mom was about to say something, but I interrupted her. Mom, please just go. I'm so ashamed to have a mother like you. Then I burst into tears. She got up and left, without even so much as a glance back at us. Emma took me into her arms. I was afraid that you would be disappointed. That's why I hid everything from you. I'm sorry for treating you so badly. She gently patted my head, and I felt like I was back in my childhood, where she'd held me and sang lullabies. It was so comforting. Finally, peace has returned to my family. I'm so fortunate to have Emma as a stepmom, and pretty soon, my little bro or sis will be here, and I can't wait.
I was rushing to finish homework when suddenly a screeching shout startled me. Julia, why did you hide the letter Ben sent me? What? You've lost your mind, Katie. I already gave it to you. And didn't you say this guy was too ordinary for you? Why are you such a liar? This Ben guy tried calming her down, but it was too late. Everyone around us was already whispering. Ugh, I was not to blame for this. Guess what? That girl putting on the poor me act is my sister, Katie. We once were really close, but suddenly, boom, she changed. Now all she does is pick a fight with me. Oh, thank God. Here are my people. My dance club friends. Only dancing could help liven up my mood right now. We were happily chatting on the way to practice when suddenly... Julia, where are you going? Get back to class right now. Finals week is coming. No way. You don't know how Katie just embarrassed me in front of the whole class. I'll never go back there. Stop making excuses. Then he dragged me back to the classroom. That's Max, my overbearing older brother. His catchphrases include, Julia, where are you going? Remember to come back before 9 p.m. You still have lots of homework to do. Or, Julia, come back and change your clothes. The dress you're wearing is too short. You see, I'm 16, not 6. Why does he keep treating me like a child? Worse still, this semester, he decided to move to my school to be able to watch my every step or something. Ugh, it's unbearable. After school, I came home exhausted, but unfortunately, this awful day was not over yet. Dad was there waiting for me, my report card in hand. Julia, there's not even a single B on here. Those dumb equations just wouldn't stick to my head. Dad, I've tried. Tried, you say? So it has nothing to do with you skipping school to go dancing, huh? Oh no, in her hand were a bunch of pictures of me practicing. Okay then, it's about time I let my parents know about my passion anyway. I think I want to pursue something else, which is dance. No, Julia, studying is the only way. I don't care what you do, as long as your grades improve. Please learn from your brother and sister. Study, 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 study all the time! I angrily stormed upstairs and slammed shut my door. Then I heard my mom's voice whispering outside. Never mention dancing again, Julia. Give it up. That silly hobby won't do you any good. What does she know? She isn't even my actual mom. Yes, they're just mine and Max's adoptive parents. I bet if my actual mom and dad were still alive, they'd understand and not forbid me from following my dreams. But life is too cruel, as our parents died 10 years ago in a traffic accident. Then Max and I were in an orphanage until we were adopted and came to live here with our adoptive parents, a biology professor, a housewife, and their daughter, Katie. After a restless night of overthinking, the next morning I trudged through the schoolyard like a zombie. Suddenly, a tall figure crashed into me. Ouch! The guy apologized profusely. Then he told me he hadn't been paying attention as he was too engrossed in a cool video. Oh, this is our club's dance video I posted yesterday. We immediately started chatting. So, his name is Daniel. He's a new transfer student here, but already a big fan of our club. We were watching another video together when his phone screen popped up a message. Hey, are you free tomorrow night? Katie? Oh, that's definitely my sister Katie. Why does she have to appear everywhere? Anyway, after I parted ways with Daniel, I excitedly ran to the practice room to tell my friends about our new hardcore fan. I waved at them, but they just ignored me. Weird. Hey guys, what's wrong? Don't you know? Julia, yesterday your mom called everyone asking to disband the club. Your mom even blamed me for being a bad influence and distracting you from studying. So please, stay away from us from now on. What? My mom said that? How did she even know their numbers? You're welcome, Pumpkin. I've helped you introduce your dear friends to Mom. They seem to get along really well, don't they? Katie? Again? Why am I even surprised? I stomped after her. Then from afar, I spotted Daniel waving at her as they passed by each other, and she immediately turned on her flirty mode. I suddenly thought up a great idea. Well, just wait and see, my beloved sister. When Katie walked off, I quickly ran over to chat with Daniel, and it didn't take long for me to lure him into my trap. My friends are all going on about the new Jurassic World movie. Have you seen it? I want to watch it too, but I have no one to go with. Is that so? Actually, I was planning on seeing that movie this weekend. Let's go together. Bingo! The fish has taken the bait. Katie, you took away the one thing I love the most, and now watch me do the same to you. That Saturday night, I happily went to the cinema in a pretty dress. No sign of Daniel yet, so I got to my seat first. But, Julia, what on earth are you doing here? Oh, Katie, the prey even showed up by herself. Nice. She immediately jumped on me, accusing me of stalking and ruining her date. We argued loudly until a member of staff kicked us out. A few days later, Daniel and I met at a cafe he chose. But right away, I saw Katie at the next table. Again. She seemed to be waiting for someone. I walked over to her. You're so persistent on being a third wheel. She was so angry but couldn't say anything. I went back to the table and sat with Daniel. Huh? What? There's ketchup all over my dress! That does it! So I lunged at her and we started brawling. And here we are, at the cop station, waiting to be bailed out. As soon as Mom arrived, Katie put on her waterworks hat and sobbed about how I was trying to steal away the love of her life. I couldn't be around either of them anymore, so I left with Daniel. We weren't far from the cop station when Max rushed out from nowhere. Stay away from my sister! And why would I? Then my brother punched Daniel in the face. What are you doing? It's Katie. She's the one who keeps messing with us. No, Julia. Katie is just a victim. Stop seeing this guy. Great. Now even Max was defending Katie. I helped Daniel up and left with him despite Max's calls from behind. The next day, I was putting things in my locker when I saw Max and Katie passing by, looking real close. They were whispering something to each other, as if his real sister was her, not me. Fine then, if that meant I would stop being supervised. Katie still wouldn't leave me alone though. There were countless times she squeezed between me and Daniel, laughing with him as if I didn't exist. Another time, when we were about to kiss, she jumped out of nowhere, gave Daniel a concert ticket, then the two of them left together. So annoying. Honestly, it's no longer about taking revenge on Katie anymore. I do feel happy when I'm with Daniel. He seemed to want to be with me too, but why didn't he just reject Katie? But at least it was me he invited to the prom this Friday, not her. That night, I excitedly put on my prom dress, curled my hair, did my nails. Everything's all set. Daniel would be here soon. I opened the door to go downstairs when, oh no, it had been locked from outside. My parents were on vacation, so it had to be my cruel siblings. I immediately called my parents, but all I received was, "You shouldn't be even thinking about prom, considering how bad your grades have been lately. Stay home and study." Right at that moment, there was the sound of an engine outside. I ran to the window and saw Katie getting into Daniel's car. I banged on the door and yelled, but only Max's voice came from outside. "Julia, that guy is not good at all. Just leave this to me and Katie." Why are you on her side and not mine? Why is everyone turning their back on me? I felt like such an outsider in this family, so from then on, I did my best to ignore them all. I passed without a word as Max and Katie gathered around our parents after their trip. Then I stayed silently in my room, ignoring Max's call outside the door. I also tried ignoring Daniel, but he continued calling me. "I think you've got the wrong number. I'm not Katie." Huh? Julia, what's wrong with you? Let's see. You left me alone and went to prom with Katie? Oh, that? I already saw Katie waiting as I arrived. She said you'd already left for prom with your friends. I looked for you everywhere. I was thinking about you the whole party. Gosh, Katie is taking things too far. Even my poor Daniel has to put up with her stupid tricks. Baby, what should I do to make you feel better? How about a road trip? Let's spend this weekend together, just us two. Honestly, all I need is Daniel's sweet voice to make my anger go away. I'd love that. I'm so sick and tired of being in this nightmare house. Being alone with Daniel felt amazing. After 2 hours of driving, we pulled up at a gas station to take a break, and he told me to pick anything I wanted. This trip is on me. I have to make it up for my princess, don't I? Oh, how did I get such a wonderful boyfriend? I stuffed my face with snacks as I waited for Daniel to return from the restroom. What's taking him so long? Just as I was going to step outside to look for him, the cashier stopped me. I'm sorry, miss, you haven't paid for those. Also, your friend left you this. Then he gave me a bunch of papers. One of them was a note saying, Surprise! Take this as your first life lesson, honey. Don't be so gullible. If you're wondering why you deserve all this, go ask your lovely brother Max. Dan. I stared down at the other papers. Receipts! This came to hundreds. He'd grab all these random things, including 5 boxes of Mountain Dew. Is this for real? How could this guy be the guy I was deeply in love with just seconds ago? I was on the verge of breaking down. But first, I still had this huge bill to pay. Oh God, where do I get the money for all this? Should I call my family for help? No way. I could already hear Max scolding, then my parents nagging, and Katie's scornful look. And so I begged the store owner to let me work here to pay back the bill. It's not so bad. At least I wouldn't have to go home. But only, I kept on messing up. I clogged the slushy machine so the floor was covered in sugared ice. I knocked over the sunglasses stand while cleaning and constantly counted change incorrectly. It was a disaster. Maybe if I'd pay more attention in math, it wouldn't be this bad. I tried everything, but all I did was create more trouble instead of paying back the money. Eventually, they kicked me out. And now all I can do is sit at this abandoned bus stop, not knowing where to go or who to find. Thinking about my life with my family before made me tear up. If only... Suddenly, a familiar car stopped in front of me. Dad!
Julia, here you are. Everyone's been frantically searching for you. I'm so glad you're okay. Why did you scare us like this?
I'm sorry, Dad. Dancing is my only passion, but I knew you wouldn't accept it.
No, Julia. I'd never stop you pursuing what you love. I used to think you were just making up excuses for being lazy.
Right at that moment, another car pulled over. It was Max, my mom, and even Katie.
What on earth are you doing? If you keep acting like this, Mom and Dad will kick us out. Max, why would you think such a thing?
Max let go of me, then hesitantly said,
I know you take education very seriously, so I always try my best at school. Julia and I are just adopted, so...
Actually, I'm adopted too. I've overheard this once from Mom and Dad. So ever since then, I was scared they'd love Julia more than me and throw me out.
Oh, my baby, it's true. We adopted all 3 of you. This doesn't change a thing. You're our children and we love you all, and only wish for you to care and look out for each other.
Whoa, this was all too much to take in. My emotions were all over the place and I didn't know whether to smile or cry.
Secrets only make us misunderstand one another, so from now on, we won't hide anything, okay?
On that note, I'm sorry, honey. Let me tell you all this one last secret that I've been keeping to myself all these years. It turned out that my adoptive mom was mine and Max's biological dad's ex. After our parents died, she offered to take us in. Our adoptive dad didn't know the story behind that, and he only knew about an ex of my adoptive mom who was a pro dancer. Mom was so afraid Dad would find out about me and my brother's true identity and be angry, so she tried her best to hide my dance talent. But she never expected her husband to be this generous and understanding. So, all problems were resolved and family peace was restored. Oh boy, I miss home so much. But now is not the time to go back. Us 3 siblings had one more important task. Expose Daniel. Can you believe that Daniel turned out to be my brother's best friend from his old school? Daniel misunderstood my brother's friendship for love, so when Max rejected him, he felt like a fool and started causing problems for Max. That's why Max transferred schools, but Daniel followed him there. Knowing Max loved his 2 sisters very much, he deliberately approached us both and played tricks to make us resent each other. After that time at the police station, Max told Katie about this and worked up a plan to expose Daniel. We found Daniel's current partner and invited him to meet them at a diner. Then we told him everything his boyfriend had done. Needless to say, he was so angry he finished with Daniel and exposed his true face to the whole school. Facing a barrage of criticism, Daniel was scared and apologized to the 3 of us and promised to make up for it. Well, now that I have a happy family, I can freely pursue my dance passion. What else do I need? Just looking at Daniel being subservient is enough to satisfy me.
It's not here. Not there either. Where can it be? It's not just any shirt. It's my most prized possession. It has Kendall Jenner, my idol's autograph on it. Frenny, your t-shirt was dirty, so I cleaned it for you. Come have a look. Oh, snap. I rushed over to see my precious shirt neatly piled on top of the fresh laundry. No. The autograph's completely gone. Grandma! That's right. The person responsible for this unwanted blank shirt is my grandma, who just moved in with us after Granddad passed away. At first, it seemed exciting because my memories about Grandma were all from my happy childhood with her. But now I'm taking it back. She's a literal disaster. You know what? She is getting on in years, but still wants to learn to use social media. My mom even bought her a brand new iPhone 14. Meanwhile, her dear daughter was stuck with this lame iPhone 8. Honestly, all she needed was just one of those brick phones that can only take calls. With her forgetfulness, she'll forget all her passwords. So it's best to just log in with my iCloud. After all, this phone will become mine anyway. Oh, that's quite a handsome young man. You think so too? Indeed, Josh's attractiveness is second to none. He's every girl's dream man. And yours as well, right? As if I stood a chance. He's notoriously cold, and none of the girls from school seem to interest him. Well, that probably was the only time we shared the same thought. Otherwise, we're always arguing about all kinds of things, especially the way I dress. She didn't even bother asking me before sewing up all my favorite ripped jeans, and then left a dress that she'd made on my bed with a note. This adorable dress will suit you much better. I used to love her handmade dresses when I was 5, but who even wears anything like this these days? That's not all. She nagged me all the time for straightening my hair instead of keeping it naturally frizzy, since it's supposedly cuter. And guess what? It's actually her who I'd inherited my natural hair from. Bet she didn't know it was the reason I had to grow up with my classmates saying stuff like, "You're actually quite pretty, but it's a shame about the hair." And, "How come you don't have straight hair like your parents? Are you adopted?" Those hurtful words made me hate my hair with a passion and wish for beautiful, smooth, straight hair, like Kendall Jenner's. So of course, I'll keep straightening it every day, no matter what Grandma says. Thankfully, those complaints will finally come to an end tomorrow, as I'm going back to school after summer break. Yay! Huh? What's everyone buzzing about? At that moment, the teacher walked in and announced that our class will have a very special new student. And then a very familiar figure entered my class. It was my grandma? What on earth? Did she get lost on her way to bingo or what? How humiliating. Maybe if I stayed deadly still, she wouldn't spot me, and no one would know it was my granny. Oh, my sweetie pie, you forgot your orange juice. All eyes were on me. Good grief. Someone help me disappear from this planet, please. After class, I had to sneak out as fast as I could to avoid having lunch with my grandma. But my best friend Lloyd wouldn't quit teasing me. Suddenly, I heard someone laughing loudly across the room. Grandma? But who is she sitting with? Wow, Jose has quite a peculiar taste in women. He ignores every single girl in this school, but is now completely smitten over your granny. Jeez, why is she bothering him? Jose must have felt uncomfortable. I quickly went over there, apologized, and pulled my grandma away. On the way home from school, my grandma recounted her day just like a little kid would. Do you know that they have vending machines in the hallway with all kinds of snacks? That's genius! And oh my, the campus is big. I almost wet myself while searching for the restroom. Tell me which part of this is funny again? It only proves that someone her age belongs in a nursing home, not a high school. I needed to talk to Mom, so when she was finally alone in the kitchen, I immediately asked her, how exactly did Grandma end up in my class? It turned out that when my parents invited Grandma to live with us, she told them she would, but only if she could go to school. I think it's a lovely idea. It means she won't be lonely at home all day, as you'll keep her company. Besides, she spent her whole life taking care of our family, so it's our turn to look after her, right? Yeah, I suppose Mom raised some valid points, but who knew that Grandma could turn my school life upside down like this? She clung to me all day, ate whatever I ate, listened to the music I listened to, and even hung out with my friends. Worse still, she told them all embarrassing childhood stories about me. How I used to eat toothpaste because the ad said it was edible, and how I incubated eggs myself to see if I could hatch a chick. But that's not the worst part. She broke my hair straightener, so now I'm stuck wearing this stupid hat. How annoying. Hey, breaking news! What is it this time? Jose has found the girl of his dreams, and she's here at our school. No way! No girls have caught his eye before. Why now? Franny, what on earth? I looked down and, oops, I just accidentally turned him into Sully from Monsters, Inc. Sorry, my bad. Okay, let me see. As Lloyd told me, this was the girl Jose got to know through Tinder before she mysteriously vanished. Moore, 17 years old, goes to my school and... Wait, she only has this picture? All I could see was her frizzy brown hair. Out of nowhere, someone snatched my hat. That must be Lloyd trying to get back at me for the paint job earlier. I tried to grumble at him, but only saw Grandma with my hat in her hand. Franny, your hair is so beautiful. Why cover it up? And also, these clothes. The dress I made for you goes far better with your hair. Enough. There's no way I'd let anyone see me with this hideous hair and granny outfit. Please, Grandma, leave me alone and don't cause me any more trouble. This is my school, and having you around is embarrassing. She looked shocked and was about to say something, but just left without another word. So, it's been a week since we last talked. It seemed that I was no longer her concern as she made new friends. So it's good for both of us, right? Suddenly, I heard a deep voice behind me. Hi, Franny. Can I talk to you about something? Wait, this voice? I immediately turned around to see Jose standing there, smiling at me. Oh my, this is the first time Jose ever asked to speak to a girl. All the envious eyes are on me. I'm the luckiest girl here. Has he finally seen my unique charm? The thing is, I happened to see your curly hair the other day, and you look quite like the girl in the picture. I wonder if you are... Oh, he didn't come here because of me. Sorry, but I'm not Moore. I could see the disappointment on his face. He apologized for getting the wrong person, but before leaving, he smiled and told me, By the way, you're pretty with that curly hair. Really? That frizzy hair that I've gone out of my way to hide? Can't believe someone out there, besides Granny, actually likes it. A few days later, I arrived at school to a frightening scene. Jose was hand in hand with Amy. Turns out she had come forwards as the mysterious girl. Let's see, 17? Check. Curly brown hair? Check. And her last name is Moore. There's no mistaking it. But I kept wondering, what is Jose like about this notorious wild girl? Her clique, which now included my dear Granny, are always playing dumb tricks for attention. Look, she's no different from a traffic light now that she's friends with them. Once, their group even turned the library into a runway. Obviously, this quickly reached the supervisor, but, well, only my grandma was slow enough to get caught. Thanks to that, she received a ticket to the principal's office and they called in my mom. Don't you find it ridiculous that a person this age is still getting scolded by the principal? School is not the place for Grandma at all. Performing art requires a bold personality, girl. I might be old, but my spirit remains youthful. You know what? I'm going to participate in the Rise to Fame contest as well. I think I may just win. I turned to my mother with begging eyes, but only received a forced smile and a, just let her do what she wants. You'll lose anyway. Why bother? How about you sign up too, and we'll see who wins? Ha! Fine. Challenge accepted. I'll defeat you easily, Granny. Just wait and see. Finally, Rise to Fame, my school's annual competition, arrived. Each team of 3 will participate in different rounds, with the 2 best teams going to the final. First round, handball was a piece of cake for us. Having 2 sporty types on the team helped with that. As for Granny's team, which consisted of herself, Jose, and Dolly Amy, they were eliminated almost immediately. After sports was a Sudoku round. Each team will compete against one another. Whoever solves the puzzle first wins, which should be a breeze because I used to spend rain-filled afternoons playing this game with Granny as a kid. On the other hand, Amy was complaining to the organizing committee that this round was a joke, since Sudoku was so outdated. The more she talked, the more it showed that she's terrible at math and numbers. So it'll be like taking candy from a baby, right? But I forgot Granny was on their team, and unexpectedly, Jose was also very quick-witted. It didn't take them long to solve such a difficult puzzle. Seeing them hugging and celebrating pissed me off. Losing to them by a mere second was the real stinger. Focus, Franny. We had to beat them in the countries and histories round to win. Just a few more minutes till the final round. I was about to leave the waiting room when suddenly I heard a ding coming from this phone left on the chair. It's Grandma's phone. But wait, she knows how to use Tinder? Curious, I opened it and on the screen were all the messages from Jose and the mysterious Moore. Why does Grandma have this account? And why is Jose convinced Amy isn't who he's looking for? I immediately went to look for my grandma and found her in the corner of the stage wing. But as I approached her, she pulled my hand in and signaled for me to keep silent. I thought you let that annoying old hag join the team as a joke. Who knew she'd be so helpful? You'll win easily. Yeah, right? I even heard that history is her strength. I just need her to finish this last round, then I'll kick her out in a heartbeat. The whole group burst out laughing. I nervously turned to look at Granny, but she didn't show any sign of anger. So what will my grandma do next, you ask? As soon as the final round began, she stood up, took the mic, and announced, I want to withdraw from the competition because I will never let two-faced people get the better of me. After that, she left, and the whole audience started to make a fuss, while Amy's face turned pale. However, the real shocker was when Jose also came on stage. Me too. I don't want to be in a team with a liar. Then he walked away as Amy chased after him. The audience buzzed, and the organizers announced that this meant our team had automatically won the competition. I rushed home right after the award ceremony to find Grandma ruminating in the garden. I quietly sat down next to her and put my hand on her shoulder to console her. She looked at me, gently smiled, and started telling me stories I'd never heard before. I discovered that she fell pregnant at 16 and dropped out of school. Her friends weren't very nice to her, so she'd never resumed her education. So now she had time, she decided to go back to school to experience her lost youth. That's why, Franny, you should never let others' mean words get to you. Cherish what you have, because there are still people who love that side of you. What she said was really touching, and it reminded me of Jose's compliments on my hair. Granny, so what about the Tinder account? Oh, I know you really like Jose, so I created an account to learn more about him so I could help you. Turns out, that profile picture was Grandma when she was younger, hence the similarity to me, and Moore actually was her maiden name. I hugged her and profusely apologized for my poor behavior. She gently patted my head, smiled, and said she'd take me to a secret spot. The next day, I returned to my naturally frizzy hair and put on the dress Granny gave me. It wasn't trendy, but it fit me perfectly, and weirdly, I felt kinda confident wearing it. My grandma and I happily walked into a book cafe when I spotted Jose. I've brought the person you're looking for here. We both looked at her with questioning eyes. You mean, turned out there was still one thing she hadn't told me, that the alias Moore she put up on Tinder was all based on my preferences, my hobbies, my habits, my taste in music, etc. She'd been collecting everything about me to text Jose. I had to let him know there's an interesting girl like our Franny out there, right? That was why Jose didn't feel as compatible with Amy. Then the intelligence round confirmed it, as he and the mysterious girl both had one thing in common, a passion for Sudoku. In the end, everything was cleared up. Grandma is still attending my school, and I actually don't mind it anymore. She brings in homemade cakes for me and my friends, tells us interesting stories about the old days, and gives out the best advice. Most importantly, she made me realize that being me isn't so bad, frizzy hair and all. Almost forgot. You're also wondering what happened between me and Jose, huh? Well, I think you should see for yourself.
Hi there, I'm Maxine Coleman. I'm the only daughter of two world-famous rocket scientists. Since I was little, I was brought along each time they made a television appearance, and my plus one was always my best friend, Gail.
What's your secret to such success? Well, we've both loved science since we were kids and decided to devote our lives to it. And family is our biggest motivation. It's not rocket science.
Whoa, your parents are so cool! On our way home, Dad asked me,
So, what's your dream, sweetie?
While I was scratching my head for an answer, Gail already said, I want to be a talk show host, just like that lady tonight.
That's great. You can definitely do it. Don't worry, Maxine. You'll soon know yours.
However, both Gail and I had problems learning. While Gail struggled to say a proper sentence, reading and writing gave me the hardest time. Naturally, we both hated school. My parents took me to the doctor, and I was diagnosed with dyslexia. He also said I'd have much difficulty in school and wouldn't achieve high academic results. I was quite upset to hear that, but my pop-pop, who was a high school teacher, wasn't pleased with that remark.
Nonsense. Maxine's very bright. Dyslexic or not, she'll succeed with the right method.
Since then, Pop-Pop began helping me and Gail study. Each time we finished a book, he'd give us little rewards. He also introduced us to sports, and even brought us to cool places like museums, galleries, and aquariums. From the moment I stepped foot in the aquarium, I knew this place is right up my alley because dolphins! Look, it's following me! I immediately told my parents the good news that evening. I found my passion. I'll become a marine biologist when I grow up. Years went by, and school wasn't scary to us anymore. Thanks to my pop-pop, I'm now at the top of my class and excel at biology. Dyslexia didn't have much effect on me. Meanwhile, Gail got rid of her stutter and became much more confident. We're like Superman and Batman, always side by side, working towards our own dream.
Professor Coleman, please tell us more about your latest research on marine life.
This is my life's work, which has been under development for the last decade. We both got into an elite high school, which would be a good jumping pad for our future. But unlike in middle school where I could learn at my own pace, I had to bend over backwards to have a good GPA since the curriculum here is so intense. Unfortunately, dyslexia returned due to stress, making things even harder for me. In class, I had to look up the dictionary every 5 minutes, which slowed me down. One time, I stayed in class during recess to correct all the D's and B's that I'd mixed up in my essay. That alone got me called nerd. On the contrary, the pretty, extroverted Gail already became the face of the students' council, and she still tried her best to help me. That's right, this is just a minor setback. But that's not all. Yesterday, my chemistry teacher asked me to read the lab safety rules. Don't taste or sniff. You should be wafting the spell. What? I mean, smell. Sorry. We're in chemistry class, not Potions 101, Professor Snape. That's how Snape became my nickname, all because of that Robbie guy. Everyone loved his shenanigans, and he got away with everything because he's a rising track star. But really, he's the villain in my story. Lately, Gail and I had less time to chat because she's so busy, hanging out with Robbie. They met when Gail interviewed him for the school paper. Worse still, she often defended him, saying I'd like him once I got to know the guy. Ugh, no thanks. Besides, it seems that Gail's making achievements towards her dream. Meanwhile, I could barely handle studying and getting along with my classmates. Then came a time when every student who wished for a head start into a prestigious university needed to see the college counselor, Mrs. Morales. She said that my grades were pretty good, but I'd also need a good personal statement. It's supposed to capture the essence of who I am and show that I'm ready to commit myself to my future. Simple enough, right? But when it comes to actually writing, why is it so hard? Am I doubting my own plan? Can I really be a marine biologist? At dinner, I tried to bring this up to my parents, but it seemed they're already thinking I'm a marine bio student. Guess there's no turning back now. I called Gail to the aquarium to help me clear my thoughts. She was late, so I went to catch up with my dolphin friends. They actually calmed me down. Suddenly, a screeching voice took me out. You're dyslexic because you speak dolphins' language? Should we find Dolphinese books for you? I turned around to see Gail and an entourage of her new friends and that buffoon. They started giggling. No word in the English language could describe how mad and humiliated I was. Did you really need to bring them here just to embarrass me? I walked away, but accidentally headed to a glass tunnel. It felt like I was fully submerged underwater. The horrible memory of the time I fell through ice into the deep, dark, frozen cold water came rushing back. I immediately dashed outside. Max, wait! I turned around to see Gail running after me. Watch out! A car's coming! I quickly pushed her away. The car didn't hit her, but she's injured. We brought her to the hospital ASAP. But when she came to, Gail couldn't speak. Her doctor said her vocal cord was temporarily paralyzed due to neck and chest trauma. That meant Gail could no longer present the school sports day. I was overcome with guilt. Gail told me,
I'll be all right. Sorry about earlier. I thought bringing our classmates would cheer you up.
She even said that I should keep chasing my dream and not let anything hold me back. I was so touched, but somehow, her words made me feel so pressured. I'll even work harder from now on. After that day, Robbie kept following me around trying to apologize. I avoided him like the plague. One day I even skipped English, and when I got back, my classmates were buzzing about some substitute teacher named Mr. Coleman. They seemed so excited, since he didn't make them do any work and only told them fun anecdotes. Huh? That name rings a bell. And later my suspicion was confirmed when I met with my grandpa's angry and disappointed look after school. I obviously went home to a raging storm, but it didn't matter. I used this chance to spill my guts about how exhausting school was, how annoying it was to be picked on by an absolute moron all the time while my bestie wasn't by my side. Strangely, Grandpa listened attentively, then simply said he'd handle it. A few days later, he revealed that his way of handling it was making me that dimwit's tutor. Worst idea ever! Even though Pop-Pop guaranteed that clown would work with me, I still wanted to kiss that jock with an uppercut. I ranted to Gail thinking she'd help me out of this. Unexpectedly, Gail also told me to give him a chance. Then, I might see his good side too? Right at that moment, the idiot appeared with a Nintendo Switch. How immature! That's my cue to leave. After the first lesson, I realized any regular teaching method could never hold this dummy's attention. But I can't just give up. Pop-Pop taught me that there's no bad students. Fine, I'll find the right way to make him study. So, I showed him YouTube videos on biology to keep him focused, taught him the periodic table song, and talked about world history in his language. In 1914, after the Austrian Archduke was unalieved, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, and Russia was like, say less, we got you, bro. Then Germany wanted to be the main character and waged war when literally nobody asked. So, you're saying World War I started mostly because the German Empire was pressed about being mid? Yes, brother. After some time, Robbie's grades went from D and F to C and B, while I no longer had to cram like before, since preparing lessons for him helped me remember everything naturally. Studying suddenly wasn't so hard anymore, and maybe Gail was right. This guy wasn't that terrible after all. One afternoon, Robbie shared some good news. Hey, my track meet went so well. Thanks for helping me with my grades, or else I would have been disqualified. Let's celebrate! Congrats! Can't celebrate without Gail. I heard she just got back from the hospital. Let's come to her place and get nuts. Moderately, though. Robbie passionately talked about his great achievement, while I told Gail that we're getting along now, but Gail seemed unenthusiastic. Then she coldly asked us to leave. We were both so confused. I asked Gail's mum and found out that most of her injuries had healed, except for her vocal cord. She's undergoing treatment, but her doctor was unsure how long it would take for her to talk again. Poor girl. Suddenly, Gail rushed out to put a piece of paper in my hand, then ran away. On my way home, I read the note. It's all your fault. If you didn't run, none of this would have happened. I'd rather get hit by a car. It would have only given me a broken arm. It's you who killed my dream. That's Gail's true feelings? Her words cut deep. When Gail returned to class, she didn't talk to anyone, and of course avoided me and Robbie. One time during recess, Mrs. Morales came to me and complimented my personal statement. She even said that if I kept up my GPA, I should have it all in my bag. That means my essay didn't seem as pretentious as I thought, right? Robbie was so happy for me, but I saw Gail's glare out of the corner of my eye and immediately signaled for Robbie to keep it down. At lunchtime, he asked if I was upset because of Gail. Not really. She'll perk up when she gets better. So, why the long face? Did Mrs. Morales say you have a bright future ahead of you? I'm not sure anymore. I made myself out to look like someone fully committed to marine biology in my essay, but deep down, it felt like I was lying. I can't even get close to water after falling through the ice that one time. I suddenly felt my throat closing and my eyes watering. I instinctively stood up and left without saying another word. I wanted to talk to my mother about this as soon as I got home, but I arrived in the middle of her conversation with Gail's mom. She brought us the good news. Voice therapy worked, and Gail could talk now. That's amazing. Gail's mom said she's waiting for me at the park, so I went straight there. At the park, I saw Gail standing by a pond. Thank goodness you can talk again. I always knew you'd recover for your dream. My dream? It's turned to ashes. Then Gail told me that although she could talk again, her buttery smooth voice didn't return. Oh no, I was dead inside and tried my best to comfort her. I still believed she could overcome this and regain her voice, the same way she got over her stutter.
Easy for you to say. Do you know what it's like to have a demon in your throat? I don't even recognize myself anymore.
No, you can still...
How about you? Can you get over your fear to achieve your dream? Come on now, do it!
With each line, Gail put another step forward, pushing me closer to the edge, until there was only a few inches between me and the water.
Go on, it's for your dream. What are you afraid of?
Gail took one more step, and I fell into the pond. My trauma took over me. I panicked, thinking this was it. Then someone pulled me out. Robbie! You're insane! She could have died! Gail just ran away crying. Don't yell at her. I shouldn't have picked at her wound. Also, this should be a practice for when I become a marine biologist. Seriously? Or are you just scaring yourself even more? My family expects this much from me. If I gave up on my dream because of a tiny little accident from when I was 13, I only have myself to blame. Dream this, dream that. Are you sure that's what you really want to do, and not just a 6-year-old girl's dream? Robbie's words jolted me awake. It's true that I no longer enjoy studying as much as when I was learning with Pop Pop. Every ounce of effort I put out recently was solely for a far-fetched dream that I'm not even sure if I want anymore. I don't want to disappoint my parents, but I can't keep struggling like this for the rest of my life. But I've held on to this dream for so long and worked so hard for it. What do I do if I give up now? You'll figure it out. Take your time. I used to play football and was sure that I'd become an NFL player. Then at one point I realized that's not my thing, so I quit. And after trying out many different things, I fell in love with track. Change isn't the end of the world. I can't believe it took me this long to realize that it's too early for me to commit. Change is normal.
But what if I never find my life's ultimate goal, and I'm just wasting time?
Jeez, chill, man. You're making someone like me, who couldn't care less about school, actually enjoy studying. You're living life and putting some good into the world. Ain't no time wasted. No need to be Martin Scorsese.
You mean marine biologist, right? But thank you. I needed that. I came home to see Gail crying to my very concerned parents. Mom jumped to embrace me when she saw that I was drenched.
Gail told me everything. Why didn't you tell us? We're so proud of you, and nothing would ever stop us.
So, Gail revealed my fear of water from that accident when I was 13, and how much I tried to overcome that fear from my childhood dream. It's so difficult for me to talk about it, mostly because I can't admit to myself that accident left a scar on me, so I'd suppressed my pain all this time. Telling both my parents about it now actually felt liberating. Luckily, they're very understanding and allowed me time to find my true calling. As for Gail, I'm sorry. I was so frustrated with myself that I put it all on you. It's not your fault. Turned out, when Gail ran off, she was hiding behind a bush nearby and overheard my conversation with Robbie. His surprisingly wise take moved her as well. Gail said she'd keep doing therapy for as long as it'd take. Yes, I believe in you. If voice therapy doesn't work out, becoming a heavy metal rock star doesn't sound too bad. Wow, really? I thought Robbie was talking for a second there. After that, it was business as usual, but there's less pressure on me. I actually made a new friend this year and got closer to my best friend. Gail's voice is improving, and she's also having fun exploring other avenues besides talk show host now. Summer came in the blink of an eye, and I decided to volunteer at a school for students with learning disabilities. I wanted to help other dyslexic people like me learn to the best of their ability, the same way Pop Pop helped me. It sounds like a good start for my own self-discovery journey. That could be my dream job. If it's not, I'll keep looking.
Voila! Finally done! The most exhausting part of moving mansion was having to rearrange my Birkin collection. But at least my walk-in closet is bigger than my last one, so now I need to pick out the perfect outfit for school tomorrow. First impressions are crucial. This is my favorite fit at the moment, but let's get a second opinion. Mom, Dad, what do you think? Wellstone High's new Queen Bees incoming! Adele, there you are. I bought you a few new items. Ooh, goody! I love surprises. What is this? Mom, are these for the maids? Honey Pie, it appears that well-off residents in this neighborhood have been targeted by a dangerous robbers gang. For your safety, you'd better tone down your outfits, at least until they catch the thieves. I know it's not ideal, but safety first. Come on, Pumpkin, isn't this shirt adorable? No, it's not. I'm not being seen dead in that rag. My parents were probably just exaggerating. Let's see. It seems some girl had her Hermes bag stolen, another her Cartier bracelet, and some guy his Rolex. No, I couldn't let some crooks take my precious babies. The next morning, I trudged downstairs in those awfully bland clothes. Ugh, they were itchy and smelled so bad. Darling, this will only be for a little while. You're our only angel, and we simply couldn't bear it if anything were to happen to you. Fine. Where's my chauffeur? I want to take the Porsche today. At least that can still save my grand entrance. Absolutely not. If you do that, you may as well be wearing a beacon to attract those thieves. I think it's best if you take the bus. The bus? Before I could protest anymore, Mom kissed me on the forehead, burst into tears, and ran off hysterically. Have a wonderful day, sweetie. Great. So much worrying for me. Now I had no choice but to find the bus stop, wherever that was. I wandered around the corner when suddenly, a deafening scream came from behind me. Thief! Watch out! I spun around to see a guy running towards me, so I immediately sped off. But soon I felt the thief reach me. Terrified, I crouched down, raised my bag. Here, take it! Don't hurt me! But no reply. I peered up and saw the guy was ahead of me and was restraining a bad guy. Turns out he wasn't the thief, and the actual thief wasn't after me. Oops, how embarrassing. Let's just leave ASAP, but I ended up crashing into some flashy car. Are you okay? It's the guy who just caught the thief. I froze. He's so handsome. I was about to reply when the car door swung open, and this angry rich guy stormed over to me. Are you blind? You scratched my car. Pay up. Leave her alone, Bernie. He's handsome and kind, totally different from that arrogant Bernie guy. Turns out he's called Roy. We all go to the same school. Better still, Roy offered to drive me there in his fancy car. What a shame that I bumped into a hottie looking like a mess. If only he knew the real me, he'd fall for me hard. We're made for each other. We even have matching cars. We arrived at school to a bunch of fangirls waiting to greet Roy. Makes sense. He's handsome and oh so rich. What's not to like? Roy told them I was new here, but they didn't seem so pleased to see me. Roy, it's so sweet you're helping out the less fortunate. Ugh, these peasants! If only they knew the real me. To prove to Roy that I was so much better than those other girls the next day, I snuck my designer clothes to school to get changed. When I spotted Roy, I hurried over to dazzle him, but that annoying fangirl Maya interrupted us again.
Nice try, new girl, but your knockoff clothes won't impress anyone.
You shouldn't judge someone by their clothes.
That's very kind of you, Roy. But we both know that only a Chanel girly like me would be a good match for you.
Everyone started to make a fuss, but Roy just shooed them away to leave. Ugh, thanks to those wannabes, I'd missed my chance with him. After class, I changed back into my boring plain clothes, ready for the bus home. What is this tacky fabric? Suddenly, Roy passed by. Cute shirt. I think it suits you much better. There's nothing wrong with dressing down. It brings out one's natural beauty better. Wow, it seems that rich boy Roy wasn't a show-off. What a blessing in disguise this pretending to be poor was. Roy clearly liked me more this way, so I should keep it up. Once, I pushed a bike to the end of the street and waited for Roy to pass by, so I could make out it was broken and ask for a lift. It's definitely not because I don't know how to ride a bike. Over the next few days, I clung to Roy. I told him how I didn't know anyone at school yet, or where anything was, as an excuse to get him to take me to the canteen. But look at the food. Really? Are we supposed to eat this? Oh, we've never gotten to eat stuff like this at home. Looks yummy! Luckily, Roy felt sorry for me even more and just caringly explained the menu. The next day, I brought in my own lunchbox with Roy's favorite, mac and cheese, which obviously was made by my chef, but he doesn't need to know that. He clearly enjoyed it, but then commented, "Adele, you shouldn't waste your money and effort on me like that. Please just spend it on yourself instead." Even though he was wealthy, he was so thoughtful of others. How come I'd never thought of things this way? On the weekend, I went to a fair my parents were sponsoring in a nearby town. I wandered off by myself and suddenly spotted a familiar face selling caramel apples with some kids. Oh no, Roy! What was he doing here? He couldn't see me all dressed up like this. Before I could dart away, his eyes locked directly on mine. Roy! Hello? Why are you looking at me so strangely? This dress. It's handmade. And, my mom found these shoes somewhere. Enough about me. Why are you here? Oh, I'm volunteering at an orphanage. The kids, they're the ones that grew these apples. Oh my god, could this guy be any cuter? Even though he's loaded, he's so down to earth and humble, and he wants to make a difference. I really have to learn a lot from him. Later, I took the bus back to town with Roy. We continued chatting even after stepping off the bus, but then this convertible pulled up alongside us. Ugh, it was Bernie and Maya. Oh no, don't let her drag you down like that, baby. Where's your Rolls Royce? What's this? Isn't this Chanel's archive? Adele, are you? Yeah, right? This is a fake one. Now, please, leave. I grabbed Roy's arm and pulled him the opposite way. Adele, are you okay discrediting your image in front of Bernie like that? I mean, he's popular and rich. Everyone wants to impress him. I'm not that kind of social climber. He's such a conceited, bossy jerk. Unlike you. Roy seemed touched by my words, as he invited me to go to the grape farm with him next weekend. Okay, so I thought Roy had invited me here for some relaxation and fresh air. I didn't expect to be made to carry out tasks. This was probably his way of challenging me, and no chance I was going to fail it. The workers here are immigrants from different countries, but thanks to my extensive traveling, I know quite a bit of foreign languages, enough to ask them to show me what to do. And it just so happens that my parents are obsessed with vintage wines, so I know my Chardonnay from my Cabernet Sauvignon. Oh, these grapes will make a fine Malbec. Ne sais pas, Pierre? Oh, I taught myself different languages and watched various documentaries to improve my skill set. It's nothing. Later, Roy needed to re-roof the barn, so he climbed up a ladder while I stayed below and passed him tools. But the ladder began to wobble, and he screamed at me to jump back. But instead, I stayed there and held up my arms to catch him. Are you okay? That was dangerous. Why didn't you step away? I couldn't watch you get hurt. Also, to have you falling for me would be everything I ever wanted. We rested in the corner, and that's when Roy told me that he liked me. I think you're one of a kind, but I don't want there to be secrets between us. I like you too, and that's true. We should have zero secrets. So, I want to come clean. My family's actually rich. Super rich. I'm sorry for not letting you know sooner. What about you, Roy? Do you have any secrets? Actually, my parents own this farm. Only the workers don't know about this, so please don't tell them. Aw, humble Roy. He's really the sweetest. He was also very understanding about the reason why I had to hide my true background. Finally, the gang leader of the robberies was caught. Things seemed to be back to normal, and this meant I could publicly go back to being me again. Everyone looked at me with different eyes. Only, Roy didn't seem all that impressed. When I invited him to my favorite restaurant, he told me he didn't like those stuffy places. Plus, he had too much work at the farm. I really wanted to go on a proper date with Roy, but I suppose just being with him was enough. so I agreed to help him out at the farm. As we waited for my chauffeur to pick us up, someone leaped out of a bush and snatched my gold necklace. As I gripped my bare neck in shock, Roy darted after them and grabbed it back. I noticed the robber say something to Roy before he fled. I later asked Roy about it, but he just shrugged it off. The next day at school, a woman in tatty clothes ran in, saying she urgently needed to find her son. When she saw Roy, she rushed towards him. "Oh, here you are! I thought something happened to you! Someone told me you were in trouble!" Everyone began chattering. "Roy, you're wealthy. Why don't you buy your mom some nice clothes?" He looked dumbfounded, then muttered, "I'm not rich. I lied." "What? Why? You always said money didn't matter, but you live in this facade?" Roy avoided my eyes, mumbled out a sorry, then led his mom outside. So this whole time, I didn't know who he truly was? Feeling hurt and deceived, I screamed out that it was over between us. My heart was cracked into two. This was horrible. Then I arrived home to see my parents frantic. Someone had sent them a threatening letter saying, "I will come when you least expect it and take what I want." My parents were terrified that something bad would happen to me, so they hired bodyguards to protect me. The next day, a whole squad showed up, and to my utter shock, amongst them was Roy. "What are you doing here? What's your scheme?" I replied to the advert. "I didn't know it was for you. Please, Adele, I need this job. I could really do with the money." I hated that he'd lied to me, but I couldn't be that heartless. So I agreed that he could be my bodyguard, as long as he knew his limit. Having Roy follow me everywhere really sucked. So when Bernie appeared and asked me out, even though I didn't particularly like the jerk, I agreed to it. It felt good to dress up and be taken to fancy restaurants, and it felt even better to see how raging Roy looked. On my way to the restroom, Roy stopped me. "Bernie's not who you think he is. Please stay away from him." I put his words down to jealousy and shrugged him off me. If anything, what he said made me even more determined to get closer to Bernie. So when he suggested I throw a party at my mansion for my 16th birthday and invite all my friends, I immediately agreed. The party was great. It's been a while since I was able to have fun and forget about the recent shenanigan for a moment, thanks to Bernie. "Wait a minute, bae. I've prepared a big surprise for you." The lights went out, and I waited, wondering what it could be. But it's been a little too long. I called out for Bernie, but nothing. I didn't hear from Roy either. Realizing something was wrong, I found my way inside the house and was suddenly grabbed by someone. "Shh, let me show you something." He led me to the garage and I caught Bernie trying to start the supercar. Next to him was a bag full of priceless jewelry. "That was fast, but I didn't come here alone." "Yeah, but your teammates are already taken care of." Then Roy opened the garage door and the cops rushed in to arrest Bernie. Outside, I saw a couple of other robbers being led away in handcuffs. "You again? You can act all high and mighty all you want, but you're no different from me." It turns out, even after the leader was caught, the robbers gang was still alive and well, and Bernie was a member. He only pretended to be rich to fool his victims and provide intel to the gang. Knowing my true background, he's the one who stole my necklace. But the mission failed because Roy stopped him. As revenge, Bernie leaked information about Roy's family. "I should have exposed your rich kid facade sooner. I let you off several times out of respect for our close friendship, but you still wouldn't leave me alone." "Close friend? Who falsely accused me of theft then?" As he was being led away, I suddenly remembered something. "What about the letter? Why did you do such a stupid, unnecessary thing?" Bernie looked confused and insisted he didn't have time to write insignificant things like letters. "It was me. I wrote it. I knew Bernie wouldn't stop trying to steal from you, and I didn't want you to get hurt. So I sent the warning letter for your family to take cover." Roy walked off, but I went after him. "What about some accusation between you and Bernie? Is it the reason why you have to live a fake life?" Roy explained he and Bernie used to be close friends. Roy was always poor when Bernie's family was a little better off. Roy discovered that Bernie was involved in some petty thefts, so Roy tried to make him stop, but he only took revenge by accusing Roy. Although there was no specific evidence, due to his poor family background, people always assumed that he'd done it. So when Roy transferred schools, he decided to pretend to be rich, so no one falsely accused him again. Oh, my poor Roy. Ugh, why is finding my balance so tricky? Ouch! Roy helped me up and checked I wasn't hurt. "You don't have to do this. Just live your life as comfortably as before." "Nope, I want to do this. This way I can cycle to see you whenever I want. A flashy car or fancy outfit doesn't change my value as a person, but working with you felt good. And you know what? Even though you're not as well dressed as when we first met, I still like you a lot." Hi, I'm Miley Cyrus. You've probably heard some of my songs like Wrecking Ball, The Climb, and Flowers from my latest chart-topping album, Endless Summer Vacation. Although my most loyal fans have known me since my Disney Channel days. This story isn't about me though. Today I'm narrating the life of a young star from the South, just like me. I'll tell you why later. For now, please like and subscribe. I know all about being famous at a young age, and trust me, no glory comes without blood, sweat, and tears, and Scarlett Spencer was no exception. Her journey to stardom began in a small town in Texas. Her mother passed away long ago. Still, she grew up happily with her dad who owned a little diner, and her baby sister Naomi. These two were polar opposites. The quiet, introverted Scarlett helped out at the diner, while Naomi, who was in high school, lived and breathed social media. Give me a phone, mine's out of juice. Man, this brick's been only to call and text for years. It should have something new. In case you still haven't figured it out, well, Naomi's creating an Instagram account under her sister's name to post pics. Give it back! I need it now! Naomi, I already said I don't like social media. What's with this photo and the Ritz-Carlton and ridiculous caption? We were just there for Dad's delivery. Relax. Everybody has a social media presence these days. That photo will get you tons of hearts and followers. Honestly, if my sister ever did that to me, she would have been 6 feet under by now. But Scarlett let Naomi off the hook, because to her, Naomi was her bestest friend, who she could tell everything to, while Scarlett was the best sister she could ask for. Naomi knew she'd never find anyone else who'd satisfy her every whim like that. They frequented this spot by the lake for a stroll, a jog, or simply pouring their hearts out. I want to go where culture is, like New York or LA. The only thing exciting in this town is probably a party bus that comes by every millennium. You're a big dreamer, and that's good, but isn't a peaceful and quiet life nice too? Bless their hearts. They have no idea what's in store for them, but it's really hard to imagine that their uneventful lives could change. All of a sudden, when their dad got in an accident and lost his job. With no relatives, the family was dealt the worst hand. Scarlett alone couldn't manage the diner, Dad's medical bill, as well as Naomi. Then one day, their dad set them down, looking seriously insistent. I know that this is a lot to take in, but your mother, she's still alive. This is her. What? We got divorced and cut all ties long ago. I never spoke of it 'cause it's too complicated. Now that your old man is in this situation, you should go to your mother and shouldn't have to suffer because of me. Both of them were too shocked to speak. Scarlett went to her room, the photo squeezed tightly in her hand. Is this really my mother? When are we leaving? What are you excited about? All we have is this address and her photo. What if she won't accept us as her daughters? She abandoned us all those years, remember? It's still worth a try. Do you know, I've lost count how many times I've wished for a mother. And then this happened, like a miracle. Scarlett tossed and turned all night because of what her father revealed just now, while Naomi thought long and hard about what she would wear. The next morning, the sisters got up early and went to the address on the note, which led them to a magnificent building, elite talent management. They stepped inside with bewilderment written all over their faces. Excuse me, we're looking for Mrs. Athena Kinsley? Perfect timing. Miss Kinsley's here this week for our statewide audition. In fact, she's right behind you. They were both in awe to see a woman who exudes sophistication and confidence. Naomi rushed to her. Excuse me, ma'am, are you Athena Kinsley? The woman gracefully turned around, lowered her shades, and scanned them both from head to toe. Hello, I'm Naomi Spencer, and this is my sister Scarlett. We, believe you're our mother. Does the name Joseph Spencer ring any bell to you? He's our dad. He told us to come find Mom. I mean, you. That was awkward, but they got a reaction out of the Ice Queen. She was shooketh, but quickly regained composure. You two, come with me. Clear my schedule. The girls followed her with uncertainty. When they reached the elevator, everyone inside immediately got out. Some of them even bowed to her. During the elevator ride, Scarlett and Naomi looked at each other in confusion about this lady who's supposedly their mother. Athena got down to business as soon as the door closed. I thought your father wanted you to forget that I existed. But here you are. Start talking. While Scarlett talked, Naomi looked around Athena's office with great excitement. Her eyes lit up when she saw a photo of Athena with Beyoncé. Did you work with Beyoncé? Yes, she's still one of my clients. Miley Cyrus, Jennifer Lawrence, Britney Spears. I've worked with all of them. Surprise! The truth's finally out. I actually agreed to tell this story to return a favor Athena did for me when I parted ways with Disney. Rough times, but totally worth it. Okay, continue. As I was saying, Dad needs physical therapy and a private nurse, but we can afford neither. He needs your help. Mom? This is the first time we've spoken in so long, and you're just asking for money? I'm afraid it can't be that easy. Really? This is our father, your ex-husband. Jeez, why did I even bother coming here asking the person who abandoned us for help? Naomi, we're leaving. Sit down. I didn't say no, but I won't hand you a huge bag of cash for nothing. Instead, you can work for it. You do have a pretty face and quite a feisty character, and I have everything you'd need to get far in this business. How does that sound? That took a turn, but Naomi was even more surprised than I am. Why isn't Mom asking her, but only her sister? Her introverted anti-social media sister.
No thanks. I want a nice breezy life and zero limelight. We'll figure something out. Without you!
On their way home, Naomi kept nagging Scarlett for refusing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
She left us. That was the first time we met after so long, yet she didn't fake a smile and even try to exploit us. Can't you see that?
No! You assume she abandoned us. Dad kept her a secret all these years, so we must have lied about that too. Mom's offer is a win-win deal. Don't you see how respected she is? Despite seeing Naomi's point, Scarlett was still stubborn. The way I see it, they don't have much time to argue, because right at that moment, their dad was having a heart attack. Luckily, the girls arrived home right on time and brought him to the ER. After hours in the ICU, his condition became stable, but needed further observation. Scarlett's face got paler with every word the doctor said about her father's treatment. I'm no accountant, but this bunch of hospital bills surely sounds bad. Sis, Mom's office still stands. Do something before it's too late. Scarlett reluctantly came to see Athena again. Before signing, Scarlett had a few demands. She'd receive a fair cut of the profit and will not owe Athena anything once the contract is no longer in effect, as well as a signing advance. Also, per contract, Athena would be Scarlett's manager. This is actually very common. My mom Tish has been my manager to this day, but that's me. I can't talk about her case. Scarlett immediately transferred her dad to the best hospital in Texas. Looking at his unconscious state, she got all the motivation she needed before leaving for the city, thoughts about her future swirling in her mind. From the start, Scarlett said she didn't want anyone to know they're related. Athena, being the professional she was, agreed. Then, Operation Ultimate Fashionista commenced. First off, an extensive daily workout for 3 hours with a personal trainer. Scarlett was used to physical labor, so she didn't break a sweat. But when she found out about the strict diet she had to follow, Scarlett realized she's in hell.
What's wrong with you? You make me work out but don't let me eat?
Silly girl. Don't you know the camera's at 10 pounds? You'll look like a manatee in your photos unless you lose weight. Almost forgot. Scarlett moved into Athena's mansion for her private training, while Naomi stayed home for school. At the moment, Scarlett was lonely on an empty stomach. I can understand how she's feeling, because I went through the same ordeal when I started touring at age 13. Scarlett decided to sneak out in the middle of the night to search for food. However, Athena was one step ahead and already locked the pantry. Hey sis, you caught me in the middle of my midnight supper.
Oh my god, this food is bussin'. Anyway, how's Dad?
I can't hear you. What's the weird noise?
The sound of my pain and suffering. Watching you mukbang sure made it worse. Bye!
And I'm sick of this food and this life. I need to find out how I can move to the city. Meanwhile, poor Scarlett could only sleep off her hunger, as she had to be up at 6 for training. Show business doesn't only demand talent and looks, but also the ability to handle being in the public eye. Sometimes you're a slip of tongue away from fading into oblivion. Media training was invented so we can learn to be public figures. That entire morning was spent on correcting Scarlett's posture, walk, and mannerisms. One more time, action!
Hi, besties! Get ready with me to go to a ball!
Stop!
What now?
Your accent. It's too distracting. Should we get rid of it? Perhaps tone it down a bit. It'll make her stand out, but we don't want too many risks.
Risks? This is how I talk!
Not anymore. That's enough for today. Thanks for coming in. Scarlett, of course, had no say in any of this. Now Athena's the one driving, and Scarlett's only in the passenger seat.
Is she trying to make me a star or a slave? Can't she at least not look like Grumpy Cat and sound like a dictator all the time? Jeez, I have to learn strange stuff and change so much about myself. There's nothing wrong with my waiter accent. What's all this for?
Sis, everyone who wants to be famous has to learn everything you just said. And the people Mom works with are all big names in the industry. So cool!
Mom?
To her, I only exist during business hours. I'm sure she wants the best for you. How about this? Ask her if I could come live with you. I could be your mediator. The responsible big sister side of Scarlett thought that's not a great idea, but the lonely teenager in her was craving some company. So, she asked and got Athena's approval right away. Naomi coming here is like returning to her natural habitat. This is amazing. Thanks, Mom. I can't wait to see this city. I don't have time to show you around. But here, take a cab and buy yourself something.
Is it just me, or does she seem to get along much better with Mom?
I totally see it too, Scarlett. When Scarlett's image became much more marketable, Athena got her first ever fashion photo shoot. But since this was Scarlett's first time modeling, she struggled the whole day, but couldn't seem to have any good shots. Let's try again. Remember, we want clean, athletic, smiley. Yeah, and she's giving dirty, tired, and paunchy. Everyone take 10.
That's it!
Look at all this stuff, guys. Isn't it crazy?
Ah!
What's wrong? Talk to me.
I can't take this anymore. She is vicious. She doesn't give a flying crap that I beat myself up trying and orders me around like a puppet. This is draining me day by day. I'm exhausted.
Naomi could only offer little comfort pats while listening to Scarlett's rant, but she's secretly thinking that her sister didn't know this was the life that others would kill to have. Little did Scarlett know, Naomi came to Athena immediately afterward. Mom, I want to be famous too. Make me. Sorry, that's a no. What does Scarlett have that I don't? I can do everything she does with a smile. You're only seeing this at a surface level. Scarlett's got that X factor. That's why I chose her. She's special, and you're not. That's it. She doesn't want that anyway. Who says? Show me. Never mind. Naomi sulkily walked out when she ran straight into Scarlett. What on earth happened? You wouldn't understand. This time, Scarlett got a better grip of the job and became more confident. Then her followers grew quickly when she had a few viral videos. Those numbers translate to more high-profile promo campaigns and countless PR packages from brands. Most of her free PR stuff went to Naomi, though. Scarlett got recognized and asked for photos more often whenever she went out, and she gradually and strangely loved it. Athena seemed to be satisfied and not giving her a hard time anymore, and even flashed the first smile. Most importantly, there's more money to go towards their dad's treatment. Thanks, my darlings. The doctors could proceed with every necessary procedure, so I'll be discharged any day now. By the way, does your mother treat you well?
She better.
Soon you won't need to bend over backwards anymore.
When Dad gets better, this will all be over. Why do I suddenly feel kinda empty?
Are you not happy to see Dad get better?
What? No! Of course I'm happy for him.
Right then, Naomi saw something that could change everything.
What's that?
Nothing. Scarlett's on cloud 9 to see all those times of intensive training, diet, and exercise finally bear fruits. Today, Athena even called her to her office.
Maybe she wants to discuss the next trip, or plan to move to LA.
I want to terminate our contract, effective immediately.
What?
What? You'll be compensated for this untimely breach of contract, which would be enough to cover everything, and
hold on, why?
You're no fit.
Am I not getting more popular? What do you mean?
You won't last.
But it can still be a source of income. Why cut it completely? More profit for you too, right? Isn't that your sole target in doing this? Or are you afraid that I'll come back to bite you once I've made it?
Watch your tongue. Regardless, we won't be working together. That's final.
Tell me, are you scared people will figure out that I'm your daughter? Right, you never even came to see my frail, bedridden father. I never needed a mother like you anyway.
Then a smack landed on Scarlett's face. She held her left cheek, eyes wide open, and glared at the person standing in front of her with great fury.
Hi, it's your girl Miley again. Let's get on with Scarlett's life story, which was left on a cliffhanging slap.
Watch your tongue. Regardless, we won't be working together. That's final.
Tell me, are you scared people will figure out that I'm your daughter? Right, you never even came to see my frail, bedridden father. I never needed a mother like you anyway.
Then a smack landed on Scarlett's face. She held her left cheek, eyes wide open, and glared at the person standing in front of her with great fury. Scarlett immediately began venting to Naomi as soon as she got home.
No way, this is bad. Without a management company, it's really hard to maintain your popularity. I could not care any less.
But obviously, Scarlett cared a lot.
I've put so much effort into this, and now it's all going down the drain?
Meanwhile, Naomi was more relieved than sorry. What now? I won't tell you what you want to hear. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and you're too young to have enough willpower for it. That describes my sister, don't you think?
What's wrong? Talk to me. I can't take this anymore. She is vicious. She doesn't give a flying crap that I beat myself up trying and orders me around like a puppet. This is draining me day by day. I'm exhausted.
When the video ended, Athena stayed quiet for a bit, then asked Naomi to leave. What about me? I'll think about it. So, Naomi returned home and awaited Athena's call, but days had gone by and not a single word from her mother, not even when Scarlett got kicked out. After that fierce fight, Scarlett had to move into this shabby motel. Sheesh, where did she go? She might be mad at me, but she can't lash out like this.
This woman has the audacity to call me after all that? Ugh, who needs Athena and her company? I can do this myself. Yahtzee! There's still one event I got invited to. That's my chance.
Of course, she asked Naomi to help and be her +1, who happily agreed. But without the usual professional team, it took the girls too long to get ready, so they missed the red carpet ceremony of the fashion show. Luckily, Scarlett could still start networking at the after-party. However, her social battery was draining fast, since she didn't know anyone here. Her eyes were darting around nervously, while Naomi ran about with a little kid's excitement. That body of yours is absurd, and even more mind-blowing up close. Have a drink with me, would you?
No thanks. My date is getting my drink. Sorry.
What? You think you ate? And nobody like you is lucky to even have my attention.
Excuse me, is this guy bothering you?
No, actually, yes. What took you so long, baby?
Sorry, babe. There was a long line. Phew. Their charade works like a charm, and because of that, our shy girl got to know this gentleman. He's Finn, an art director / princess maker at Creative Artists Agency. Going independent is really tough, especially for newcomers. If you work with us, you'll have more options to your liking. I mean, it's your personal brand.
For real, though? Ahem. Finn, this is my sister Naomi. Say hi, Naomi.
Nice to meet you two.
From that day on, Scarlett had been under Finn's management. He's so gentle and such a smooth talker, but when it comes to work, Finn can be pretty harsh.
No, this whole fit makes you 5 feet tall, and that top's from last year's collection. Try to keep up.
But how? I'll literally have to dive into multiple piles just to find something that isn't a size 0.
You might think a personal stylist could make this easier, but your audience can sense that it's not authentically you, and it'll just be much harder for you to build rapport. I can see you have quite a personality. You just don't know how to show it through your style yet.
Alright, that's actually really profound. I never thought about this stuff that way.
Stuff? So, what got you into this?
That prompted Scarlett to tell him everything. Surprisingly, that guy seemed like a good listener.
That is some story. Still, you managed to build a following mostly thanks to your genuine charm. I believe I can teach you more about this stuff and make you fall in love. With real fashion, I mean.
And here I thought he was gonna judge me.
Ever since she had a handsome, patient trainer guiding her every step, Scarlett gradually gained more respect and interest for what she was doing. Their relationship eventually became more intimate and went beyond the professional boundary. It looked like they knew each other in their past lives.
Here, one tasty reward for you.
Yes! Oh, hang on. I'm on a diet.
Consider today your cheat day. Something to keep you motivated. Come on, an ice cream won't put you in a food coma.
You're right. Oh, sorry.
You're such a klutz.
It was smooth sailing for Scarlett. One day out of the blue, a mukbanger appeared on her For You page. And that's
Naomi! How long has this been going on? Why didn't you tell me? Who are you working with?
None of your business.
Excuse me? I didn't say anything. I was gonna say, eating a humongous amount of food like that can be bad.
Maybe you're against this because you're afraid I'll take all your spotlight. Ain't that right?
No use talking to her right now. Perhaps I can ask Finn for advice.
To her utmost surprise, Scarlett saw that Naomi was with Finn.
In the long run, you'll either develop a terrible eating habit, or worse, an eating disorder. This is your one and only body. Take good care of it.
Everything's going as planned. Don't worry. I won't get fat no matter how much I eat.
Stay calm, Scarlett. Don't barge in and interrogate them.
No! Finn, I can't believe you brought Naomi down that road.
I asked him to. Interfere again and we're no longer sisters.
Those traitors thought they're so smooth.
Fine, let the Cold War begin.
On the other hand, Finn tried to make amends, but to no avail.
I didn't have the chance to explain myself.
Scarlett's emotional state took a nosedive, while Naomi's mukbang channel blew up. Needless to say, she was absolutely delighted.
See, I am on Scarlett's level. I already got millions of hearts and a dedicated fan base.
Little did Naomi know, praise is often followed by criticism and haters.
Look at this pufferfish's face.
I don't think it's because she's stuffing her face constantly. Girl just got played by genetics.
Girls, be nice. Why are you defending that ugly glutton? That's my sister. Problem much? I can't sit still and let her do this to herself. But who could possibly get to her? Definitely not me.
In the evening, Scarlett saw that she had hundreds of missed calls, all from Athena.
What does she want now? We already went our separate ways.
However, that prompted Athena to come see her at her place.
Please, don't make a scene. I'm here to talk.
You are making a scene showing up here. What do you want?
It's about Naomi. I am worried about her.
That finally convinced Scarlett to have a talk with Athena, which led them to an unexpectedly long discussion about their family.
I'm not asking for your sympathy, but you should know how we cut ties. Your dad and I are polar opposites. I wanted the hustle and bustle in life, but your dad wanted a peaceful life in the country. I did try to raise a family with him back there. God knows I tried. But that ain't me. So, when I left, your dad was so angry, he banned me from ever returning. Don't you dare bring that face here one more time! Leave us alone! Since then, I could only watch you two from afar.
If it makes you feel any better,
He took care of us very well. He's a family man, always has been. And Naomi, I soon realized that she's my spitting image. Impulsive, chipper, yet naive. I didn't want her to be in show business, especially this young, or else she'd make the same mistake I did. That's why you were my pick. I never intended for us to fall out. I truly wanted a wealthy life for you, and I thought I could train you into a star like I did every other girl. So when I heard you say how exhausted and trapped you felt living with me, I decided to end it as well as your suffering.
What? When did I tell you that?
Actually, Naomi told me. You're not supposed to know this.
Oh, turns out her action that day was triggered by Naomi. Did my sister do that because she was looking out for me and simply thought I wouldn't tell Mom myself? Or was there any hidden motive? I'll have to find out myself. If we didn't have this heart-to-heart today, our feud might go on forever. Come to think of it, her iciness could have been the product of the cold, harsh show business.
Their mother-daughter talk went on till dawn. Scarlett also told her that she hated this job at first, but slowly warmed up to it, and now wanted to commit to it, which made Athena really happy. At the same time, Naomi's videos gained more viewership as well as so many hate comments she couldn't ignore. Anyone reading such remarks about themselves would more or less be upset. Sensitive Naomi got a panic attack. Right at that moment, Scarlett stepped into her room, realized what was happening, and hurried over to catch Naomi. Then she put her in a fetal position. A few minutes later, Naomi calmed down.
Feeling any better?
Yes, I can breathe normally now. Thank you.
Then stop your monkey business this instant! I talked to Mum. She said you're not ready to be an influencer, and I agree with her. Do you have anything to say for yourself? Mom doesn't know me. She didn't raise me or help me become famous, and now she's getting you on her side to go against me? I thought the same, until we spoke. We misunderstood her, Naomi. And you, still worried about me stealing your thunder? We'll see who's more famous and rich. I've had enough of you.
Naomi's reaction was so scary. Scarlett couldn't believe this person was her sister. When Naomi stormed off, she didn't have the strength to go after her either. Was I too much? No, absolutely not. She deserved it for what she did. Scarlett can never understand what it's always like to feel inferior, less important, or constantly trying to escape her shadow. As Scarlett was having a migraine because of her sister, she suddenly received Finn's message, which was asking to see her that evening. He told her to come to this cafe. Although Scarlett was still mad at Finn, she wanted to hear him out, seeing how urgent his texts were. It's Naomi. She's resorting to problematic measures to avoid weight gain. Her staff said that she always tries to purge in the bathroom after shooting each video, so I kept an eye on her, and also saw her starving herself for days before going on camera, or drinking slimming tea. I got worried but can't do much about it cause, well, I'm not her manager anymore.
I saw her this afternoon, but she won't listen to me now. Have you tried talking to her?
I haven't been able to get a hold of her since this morning. Ugh! Scarlett, I'm so sorry. I wanted to help Naomi because I saw her passion burn so bright. So I hooked her up with the right people and such. And mostly because I wanted you to never mind. Meanwhile, Naomi was somewhere no one could find her. She curled into a ball, eyes glued to her phone.
I'm such a big fat loser.
Right then, Scarlett's phone got a text message. It's from Naomi. Scarlett's face darkened as she read it.
I'm doing fine, but I need some time for myself, so I'll be away for a while. Don't look for me. At this point, we should put aside our differences and search for Naomi together.
Both Finn and Scarlett looked everywhere, but found no info on Naomi's whereabouts. It's like she vanished into thin air or used Ninja's technique to hide herself. Also, Scarlett was really busy fulfilling her duties as a model.
This is so weird. Naomi can't go a day without updating her story, but it's been days without anything new on all of her socials.
All right, you're a little pale lately, Scarlett. It's one thing to worry about Naomi, but take care of yourself, okay?
Like you care.
Of course I do. You are my sole focus now. Don't just push me away.
Aw, who can stay mad at someone this sweet?
Since Scarlett and Finn resumed their collaboration, her popularity soared. However, they made no progress in finding Naomi, which upset Scarlett. Even though she's surrounded by fancy material stuff, she wasn't truly at ease. All of a sudden, #CancelScarlett became #1 on Twitter's trending page. Then multiple screenshots of seriously problematic tweets that are supposedly from Scarlett's account surfaced, causing more public backlash. Obviously, she got boycotted, which led to her follower count plummeting and her losing contracts with multiple brands. Despite the company's effort to clear everything up, the damage was done. The fact that those photos were fake couldn't stop keyboard warriors from attacking her, and Scarlett had to face horrible insults on a daily basis.
So, all this time, Naomi had to deal with this kind of stuff? That must have been mentally excruciating, especially since she couldn't share with anyone. And I even reprimanded her. Naomi, where are you now? I'll definitely find out who's behind all of that. Cyberbullies must pay. You all think you can hide behind your screen and spit out whatever filthy words you know to bring down people with a reputation to uphold. You picked the wrong targets this time. It wasn't easy, but thanks to the company's resources, Scarlett's team managed to track down everyone who ever made hate comments against the sisters and brought them to the police. But when Scarlett came down to the station and saw the lineup, an astonishing sight welcomed her. One of them was Naomi.
Hey y'all, your one and only Miley Cyrus is back once again with the Spencer sisters story. Things were getting more complicated, right? Where were we? Oh yeah, Scarlett was determined to bring keyboard warriors who cyberbullied her and Naomi to justice, and soon she accomplished just that. But Scarlett was shocked to her core to see a familiar face among them. That's Naomi? What in the world? Even your girl is shooketh. What's gonna happen next? Let's find out in this episode. From the moment their eyes met, Scarlett was completely dumbfounded. Scarlett, Why? How could you, Naomi? Naomi said nothing and just kept her head down, but Scarlett could no longer stand on her own feet. I'm okay. Naomi, a word, please. Why do you look like this? And why you did this? You know what? When those constant waves of comments tormented me, do you know how I kept my head above water? I told myself, I don't really know them. Their words can never hurt me. But I can't wrap my head around the fact that the one hurting me is my own sister. As soon as Athena got news from Scarlett, she dashed to the police station and then arrived in the middle of the sisters' argument. Scarlett, before you call me the worst names in existence, I want you to trust me and know that it's simply how I handle stress. Seriously? Hear me out. I was so happy for you in the beginning, but eventually jealousy just started creeping in. I felt small and insignificant living under the same roof as a head-turning popular big sister. It got worse when people on the internet started comparing me to you, and I felt like I was nothing but a piece of trash. Gradually, I found myself coming to your haters' forum, and that's a slippery slope. Being among them made me feel like I mattered, like those people actually listened to what I had to say. It's like I was finally someone, and I didn't want it to end. Before Scarlett could react, Athena couldn't stop herself from sobbing out loud, and the girls saw her. Mom? To their surprise, Athena suddenly slumped down. It's all my fault. I led you two down this path. Never have Scarlett seen Athena like this, and neither did Naomi. Where had the icy tyrant woman gone? Naomi, you have to stop before it's too late. It will eat you up and swallow you whole. Sorry, Mom, but if you're really my mother, you shouldn't have stopped me when you refused to help me. You could have just let me do whatever I wanted, and I could have figured it out the hard way myself. And from now on, I want to be free from you. I want people to know me as me, Naomi, not your sister. We belong in different worlds. Naomi, I can't even recognize you anymore. Naomi didn't say a thing and was gonna leave, but police officers immediately seized her. Just let her go. Then Scarlett and Athena returned to the suspects' lineup and saw that Finn was still there with an anxious look on his face. Scarlett, where have you been? You okay? Scarlett couldn't hold her anger any longer and screamed at the lineup. See how you've ruined our lives? Happy now? You carelessly threw around that bone-crushing, hateful language just for fun and never paid those on the other end any mind. Now you'll face my wrath. You're Athena Kingsley of Elite Talent Management, aren't you? Why you? Oh, yeah, I am, my mother. Come again? Yeah, she's my mother. Don't act so surprised. Mom, this is Finn, my agency's creative director. I'll go with her. Get home safe, okay? Wait here. I'll get the car. While waiting for Scarlett, Athena and Finn had a little chat. It's a pleasure to meet the famous Ms. Kingsley. I've heard great things about you. Oh, you've made quite a name for yourself as well, Mr. Finn Simpson. Well, that would be exaggerating. I see the way you look at Scarlett. I can tell there's something bubbling under it. She might look like a tough cookie, but she's my sweet, sensitive girl. Treat her well, or I'll crush you into a fine powder and scatter it on Mount Oblivion. You hear me? Yes, loud and clear. And Naomi, that girl's quite a handful, isn't she? Since she's under your management as well, keep an eye on her for me, would you? Yes, ma'am. Can't forget that. Right then, Scarlett halted the car in front of them. Mom, let's go. Finn, you're still here? Well, I'll see you again soon. Bye. Scarlett and her mum didn't say a word the whole way. Perhaps they were both exhausted from today's crazy mess. If it were me, I would just lie down and sleep it off like a log till morning. Unexpectedly, Athena blurted out, Scarlett, could you take me to your dad now? Why so sudden? 'Cause I was still mad and didn't want to see his face. No, the truth is, I'm a coward who wouldn't dare face him. Until today do I have the guts. They drove to her father's hospital room to find him sleeping peacefully. "Let me wake him up." "It's all right. Let him sleep." Then Scarlet went out to give them some privacy. "Remember me? It's been a hot minute, hasn't it? How come we only met again when you can't hear a word I say, let alone answer? I know you're still mad at me, and I was mad at you too, but I've learned to live with it. And seeing how well you raised our babies made me feel much more at ease. I've done nothing to help them all these years, yet they turned on each other all because of me. I promise I'll make things right. Trust me, and please, forgive me." Then Athena left right away, but little did she know, her voice did reach him. "If anything happens, call me right this instant, okay?" Right after their goodbye, Scarlet received a text message from Finn. "Wanna go for a walk?"
This is the first time I've been to the beach at night. I love how serene it is. How did you find such a cool place?"
"There's so much you don't know about me." Then they sat down for a heart-to-heart talk. The gentle breeze and the sound of waves soothed their jaded souls.
Things do be crazy, right?"
"Kind of, but you've been so strong."
"I'm sorry for dragging you into this, and thank you for staying by my side. It's been a while since I felt this calm."
"And so long since I saw your carefree smile."
"By the way, I just saw the news about an influencer contest, which sounds interesting."
"Isn't it American Influencer?" "Yeah, I was about to tell you too. Want to sign up?"
"Do you think I can win?"
"Of course I do. You're good at everything you do, especially messing with me. I mean, my thoughts."
"Okay, then where shall I begin? My looks, retake a soft skill course, and...
"Enough about work, okay?"
Scarlet was taken aback, then went with the flow. They gave each other the sweetest kiss ever. The golden moonlight shining on the shimmering sea made the night even more romantic. Okay, guys, you've seen enough movies to know what's happening. Shall we talk about Naomi a bit? After the incident at the police station, she had a mental breakdown for a week straight and isolated herself from the rest. She lived like a zombie in her own apocalypse till one day. I've dwelled in misery long enough. This calls for a rebirth. Let the best version of me be born. And so she entered her transformation era, invigorated and ready. She even chopped off her long hair and went through minor plastic surgery to add some highlights to her face. I got the sort of perfect looks down. Nothing will stand in my way of success. Wow, gotta admit, she's kinda rocking this cool new look. Reminds me of my wrecking ball era. During this time, Naomi still replied to her mom and Scarlet's messages, but meeting up was still a no-no. The only one she saw regularly was her dad, to whom she could pour out all her thoughts.
I'm much better now. You don't have to come so often anymore. This much back and forth is gonna wear you out.
It's what I want to do. Anyway, I'll be a bit busy this time around, so I actually can't see you as much. Please rest up so you can come home and celebrate my accomplishments.
All right, you betcha. Better get going then. Don't make them wait.
As soon as Naomi left, Mr. Spencer's smile disappeared. His expression was of pure agony. Maybe he's not doing as well as we thought.
Hi, Finn. Long time no see.
Naomi, you look different, but in a good way.
Listen, I've thought it through. I want to go professional. Help me, will you?
Yeah, sure.
I want to join. No, I'll win this competition.
As if on cue, Scarlet appeared.
Naomi?
Oh, Scarlet, perfect timing. Naomi, featuring her brand new appearance, is back.
Do you know how worried I am?
Come on, she must have her own reason. Truce? By the way, Scarlet, have you decided on the influencer contest? Naomi is in it too. The stage is all yours, ladies.
She's joining too? No, two sisters competing against each other in the same competition at this time is like kicking off the Third World War. No thanks, I'm not interested anymore. Losing interest all of a sudden? I want to compete fair and square with you. So put away that patronizing attitude. I don't need it. No, I don't. I just...
Fine, watch me. Come on, relax. You both win, okay?
Scarlet and Naomi exchanged sulky looks, but can't hold it for long before bursting out laughing for no reason.
Come to think of it, Naomi is very much like your mom, full of determination and ambition.
Yeah, I took after Dad and got the easygoing gene. I guess that happens to every sibling duo.
True to her words, Scarlet followed a laid-back lifestyle, which drew lots of fans to her. Now, this is not just a job, but also a passion of hers, sharing good tips and spreading positive energy to everyone. Meanwhile, Naomi was hard at work to be ready for the competition. She tried to grow in every aspect, and pushed herself hard in the gym. She also read tons of books, and joined courses to enhance every skill she thought might be necessary. 24 hours a day didn't seem enough. There were days when she worked her butt off till bedtime, and she simply let her body crawl into deep sleep without changing into her PJs or doing her nighttime skincare routine. Still, Athena and Scarlet always kept a worried eye on Naomi.
Naomi, we can help!
I'm sorry, but I need to focus.
I'm so sorry. I want to make you proud, and I can't afford any distraction. When Scarlett told Finn, he said he'd handle this. Since then, Finn spent more time with Naomi and her advisor, and they became close. Scarlett saw how Naomi brightened up, but couldn't help but feel uneasy. Of course she'd feel that way. Finn's spending less time with her. Scarlett, wake up. Now is not the time for this nonsense. I feel you, girl. There's something I hadn't told you. After that night's big kiss, Finn professed his love, and they became an item. Yay! The competition finally commenced. Scarlett, Athena, and Finn were in the audience awaiting Naomi's performance. Out of the blue, Scarlett got a call from her dad's personal nurse. Scarlett, your dad's condition is getting real bad. You'd better get here now. Should we tell Naomi about this? Of course we should. Yes, you'll regret not telling her. Right then, the host announced it's Naomi's turn. Scarlett immediately ran up and dragged Naomi backstage. Naomi, we have to go! It's Dad! He's getting worse, I'm afraid! What? Dad? I just saw him a few days ago and he was fine. Why now? I don't know. Scarlett, I'm sorry, but this is my last chance. Please take care of him for me. I have to go. Then Scarlett, Athena, and Finn immediately left, but they were only a few steps away when they saw Naomi black out on stage. At the same time, Mr. Spencer was also fighting his own battle. His prognosis was bad. We're sorry. We've tried our best. No! Dad, please don't go. Dad! You're awake. Calm down. What were you dreaming about to be sweating like this? Dad, where's Dad? Then there was a familiar voice from the bed next to hers. I'm right here. It's truly a blessing that Mr. Spencer's no longer in critical condition. And you fainted on stage and were taken to the ER. Some time had passed when their dad and Naomi became stable. I couldn't remember the last time we went here together. I still remember how much I hated this place, but now I think it's grown on me. I can kinda appreciate it now. Why did you suddenly want to go home and leave everything behind? I've always wanted to make something of myself, so I chased after something I didn't really understand like crazy. The moment I saw Dad left us for heaven, I felt dead on the inside. Even though it was just a dream, I can now look back and safely say I was wrong all this time. You know, to me, being in show business means creating values for your audience. Fame is sort of a byproduct, not the end result. Being famous feels almost unreal, like a fever dream. Those who flatter us today might turn their back on us the next day. Only familial love will remain till the end unconditionally. Mr. Spencer returned to his beloved diner, and today's special since these four were giving him a hand. Sit down. I got this. Hey, my help expires today, old man. Enjoy it when you can. I ain't here tomorrow. Oh, hey, I saw your daughter on TV yesterday. She really is going places. She's a whole package. A beautiful face and a heart of gold. I saw her on a charity program, too. Scarlett was still shining bright in her own way. You're actually looking at the receiver of the Influencer of the Year award. But now, she's got another loyal fan for herself. Alright, that's about it, folks. Phew, just telling you guys this story gave me a spinning headache. Luckily, everyone has their own happy ending. Scarlett and Finn are getting engaged next month. Oops, that's not in the script. Shh, I didn't tell you nothing. Being famous seems great and all. But remember, don't let it control you. Comment below if you want to see me in another episode. Mwahs!
Hi, I'm Nuella. I was raised by a single mom alongside my twin sister, Nancy. Mom was the CEO of a beauty company she managed to establish after our soldier dad passed away and was obsessed with making us look our best to attract customers. But Mom just didn't understand that I wasn't a fan of plastering my face with makeup. Even body lotions made me feel like a slippery eel. My sister Nancy, on the other hand, was a beauty enthusiast, just like Mom. Like one time when I was 13, Mom broke a whole crate of eggs just to use as a face mask. All right, girls, it's face pamper time. While she was busy applying the yucky stuff all over Nancy's face, I snuck off to the kitchen and scrambled the rest. Mom then showed up with Nancy in their ridiculous masks. It's your turn, Nuella. You fried them. Well, a glowing stomach is better than a glowing face, Mom. But it makes you prettier. Makes your skin glow. Listen here, Nuella. I don't know what your deal is reading stupid books all the time. Blasphemy! Books are life, Mom. And I told you, I want to be a novelist. A novelist? Do you want to be broke forever? It's the most useless job ever. That's right. All you need to do is invest in yourself to look pretty, and a rich man will surely sweep you off your feet. Why can't you be more like Nancy? How about trying to educate yourself and make your own money instead of waiting for Mr. Moneybags? Writing stories was my jam. Creating worlds in my head and birthing characters gave me more joy than anything. And Mom thought I was kidding until our 18th birthday.
All right, make a wish. I'll grant it.
I wish for a change of wardrobe.
Done. And you, Noella?
I wish to be a full-time writer, Mom, just like Stephen King or J.K. Rowling.
Ha! Sorry, Noella, but that wish is never coming true. You're running my business, and that's final.
How can you decide my life for me?
At least Nancy's got her beauty. She can snag a rich man. But you're not as pretty. I'm just looking out for you.
That hurt. Mom, I'm an adult. Seeing that I wasn't willing to budge, Mom turned icy on me. She made me pay house bills, and unable to bear it, I moved out. But being a writer wasn't all that rosy. No one wanted to publish my book. And at home, things became way too tough. I couldn't even afford a proper meal after already having lost my electricity in the house. I didn't even have any choice but to find a part-time job so I could support myself. I got hired as a cashier at Eggers Market, a billion-dollar chain store across the country. And that was how I met Keith, a fellow cashier. Sweet guy, but...
Hey, Noella, maybe this weekend we can, I don't know, go to the arcade?
Thank you. I mean, I'm not a game person. Sorry. Next time. Bye. I like hanging out with Keith too, but with my life messier than a spaghetti explosion, dating was not on my menu. Missing my family intensified as Christmas approached. Then, one evening, out of the blue, Mom called to spill the beans that Nancy was tying the knot. She wanted the family together for Christmas, one last time before the big day. I was excited to see them again. Little did I know the life-changing drama that lay ahead for me. On my way to catch a cab for the ride to Mom's house, I smacked into a guy.
Get out of the way, little girl.
I caught a glimpse of a snake tattoo on his arm. Totally freaked me out.
Those guys just robbed one of Edgar's Market stores. Are you okay?
What? Which one?
The one on Broadway. It's like someone is targeting Edgar.
True that. It wasn't the first time Edgar's stores had been robbed. I prayed the one I worked at never became a victim. In minutes, I was knocking on her front door, and that's when Nancy and her boyfriend arrived. Before I could even say a greeting, Mom swung the door open and zeroed in on Nancy as if I were invisible.
Nancy, my baby, I missed you. Is this your car?
That's Ryan's car, Mom.
No way! Hi, Ryan. Welcome to the family. Come on in. You must be tired from driving.
Mom hadn't even acknowledged my presence. Once inside, I forced aside the small jab of jealousy to catch up with Nancy. Nancy, you look good. Thanks. How about you? Are you Stephen King or something now?
I hope it's something bigger than the family's business.
Well, I got a well-paying job at Panda Publishing Company.
What? That's like one of the biggest publishing companies in the States. Why didn't you tell me when I called?
It's a Christmas surprise.
Oh, Noella, I'm so happy.
I got this for you, Mom. Can we go eat? I'm hungry. Okay, don't judge me for lying. Nancy was practically oppressing me with her achievements. While we were having lunch, Mom began asking Ryan questions like he was in a job interview.
So, Nancy says you come from a really big family? Yeah, my dad is Edgar, you know, the CEO of Edgar's Market.
At that bombshell, my mouth rejected the food in it.
Noella, are you okay? Drink water, quick.
I'm okay, Mom. Goodness gracious. Ryan was the CEO's son? The big boss of the company I worked at? He doesn't seem to recognize me, though. It makes sense because we've never crossed paths because my department was in the basement of the organizational hierarchy. But now how could I go to work with him under the same roof without getting busted? I spent most of that night thinking of a solution. And before morning, I had a master plan in place. And the plan first started with Keith ringing our doorbell.
Hello, is Lady Noella in? I'm Keith, her chauffeur.
Chauffeur? Oh, I see you met my driver. Just one of the many perks working at Panda Publishing. See ya. As soon as we left the house, I changed into my work clothes. Keith, you're a lifesaver.
What's with all this drama? What's wrong with telling them you're a cashier?
You won't understand. I can't let Nancy have the upper hand all the time. She has everything going well in her life, and I have nothing.
You have me, Noella.
Do you want to get a coffee quick?
Sure.
That same day, we were busy at work when Ryan strolled in acting all bossy to everyone. Quick, Keith, cover me.
What's going on? It's just the CEO's son.
He's the one Nancy is dating. If he spots me, he'll blow my cover.
Are you sure he's dating Nancy? Because he's with our manager right now.
Ryan was two-timing my sister with our manager? I peered over the counter, and that's when I saw Ryan cornering Katie the blondie. I approached the shelf where Ryan was, pretending to rearrange while eavesdropping.
Starlight in, 8 p.m.
Don't be late, handsome. So this guy was three-timing my sister, the manager, and Katie? I was so shocked I almost busted my cover, but I escaped before I could be seen. I rushed home to tell Nancy. Nancy, Ryan is a womanizer. I saw him with a girl. You saw him? Where? How? Are you stalking my fiancé? No, Shoot, I couldn't tell her I worked for his family's company. I heard people say bad stuff about him, you know? Really bad stuff. Listening to rumors, are we? You should know better than that. I bet her jealousy didn't let her think straight. Instead of being happy for me, you're busy snooping around desperate for dirt on my fiancé. Really, Noella? If I knew you would ruin the spirit of Christmas for all of us, I wouldn't have invited you. Apologize now. No way! He's a snake. I swear, Keep your mouth shut. If you continue with any of this nonsense, you'd better pack your things out of here. Now get out. It was like the floor was torn from beneath me. I felt rejected, and then Ryan came and showed me my work ID. How did you get it? So, you work at Edgar's store? What happened to Panda Publishing? None of your business! Get out! You have some guts calling me out when you're such a faker yourself. Pull that stunt again, and I'm telling everyone that you're just a lowly cashier. Chuckling evilly, Ryan walks off. Trapped and trying to ease the tension, I apologized to Ryan and Nancy, giving Ryan the benefit of the doubt. But that night, he threw my doubts back at my face while I was washing dishes. Look, I know why you're so frowny. I apologized. Now get off of me. But you got the hots for me, huh? If it eases your vibe, I'm into you too. You're so unique. Let's go out. Nancy won't know. I resisted the urge to smack him with a pot. It was official. He was a scumbag, and Nancy needed to know. So I decided to play along. Perhaps I could implicate him and show Nancy evidence of his evilness. Oh, Ryan, how did you know? Since I set my eyes on you, I've been dreaming about us. Then let's go out tomorrow night. I'll text you the address. Bingo. And that's how I found myself dressing up for a date after work the next day. Whoa, you look dashing. Where are you off to? Keith's compliment had butterflies fluttering in my stomach. For the first time in a while, I felt beautiful. Thanks. I'm going out. Out? Like a date? Yes, with Ryan. Let me explain. I told Keith everything I planned, but nothing I said made sense to him. This is risky. What if Ryan wants to hurt you? I'll be fine and ready to take that jerk down. I got to the restaurant early, but I spotted Ryan with the guy I recognized as one of Edgar's store robbers. Same build, same snake tattoo. Intrigued and concerned, I discreetly approached, phone recorder ready. Tell the boys. We hit the one on New City Street tonight. That old man Edgar dared to mess with me. Let's see how he likes his stores rated. Yes, boss. We will be ready. Ryan hired these gangsters to rob his own stores? This guy's a psychopath. Noella, baby, you look great. Unlike Keith, Ryan's compliment made my skin crawl, and his hug made my stomach churn. You're robbing your father's store? Was that also your doings? Having the store on Broadway robbed the other day? It's my future store. Consider it taking an advanced paycheck. You won't tell. You know what's at stake. Too bad for you. Right now, I think my sister's safety is more important than my pride. Ryan tried to grab me, but I bit his arm and ran away, leaving him cradling it in pain. I raced home to spill the beans about Ryan. Nancy, Ryan is... But I was greeted by a hot slap. That's for trying to steal my man. What? I wasn't... My friend saw you at a restaurant with him. I was just faking it. You know what else? I called Panda Publishing today, but they said there was no one by the name Noella working there. Turned out you're working at a store as a cashier? Yes, I did, and I'm really sorry. But look, Ryan is dangerous. He works with a gang that robs his father's stores. How can we trust you? If you can lie about your job, you could lie about anything else too. Why do you keep disappointing me? Their palpable disappointment felt like the world crashed on my shoulders. There was only one person left to turn to. I'm going to meet his dad to expose him. I have a recording of him admitting the crime. He will regret messing with me. I'm not sure that's a good idea since he knows you know. Let's think of something less dangerous. I'll grab you something to calm down, okay? While he went to fetch me the calming thing, I couldn't wait, so I sneaked out and headed straight to Edgar's headquarters. Hello, I would like to meet the CEO of Edgar. It's urgent. Someone is planning to rob his store. I have evidence. Evidence, huh? Come with me. The security guard led me to an elevator. Then we stopped in front of a room. Boss, someone's here to see the CEO for the robbery of the stores. She has evidence. The door opened, and instead of Ryan's dad, I was looking at Ryan? I tried to run, but they caught me and pushed me in. I was so scared. I should have listened to Keith. You little witch. Because of you, Nancy dumped me, and now you're reporting to my dad. How dare you? She made the right choice. You're the furthest thing from boyfriend material. The manic look in Ryan's eyes told me I was a goner. But suddenly, Keith burst in like a superhero with 2 policemen and saved the day. Freeze! The police! Are you okay? I nodded and hugged Keith in relief. His broad shoulders calmed me down, and I knew I was safe. You might as well swap your ears for something else. Sorry. You never listen. Always so impatient. I know. Yada yada yada. Why are you so stubborn? I shut him up with a kiss, and it felt so right. Turned out, Ryan's dad had kicked him out before because of his prodigal habits. But instead of turning over a new leaf, Ryan formed a gang targeting his dad's stores. Now, Edgar planned to give him a taste of jail to cool off. News of my heroic escapade spread like wildfire, reaching my family before I could even get home. The moment I stepped into the house, Mom and Nancy hugged me like I'd been away for a year. I am so sorry for misjudging you all this time. You were just looking out for me. But I was so shocked and heartbroken, I got mad at you, when actually Ryan was the jerk all along. I love you, sis. And I'm so sorry for lying. I just wanted Mom to be proud of me, too. But I'm proud of you, Nuala. After the hardship I suffered losing your dad, money became the paramount thing in my life. I thought it was all there is to happiness, so I pushed you guys to get it. But now, I realize I was wrong. Imagine if Nancy never married Ryan, how unhappy she'd have been. Whether you're a cashier or Stephen King, I don't care. I just want you girls to be happy. Merry Christmas, my love. It was the best moment of my life. Finally, we could understand each other. Our reconciliation had to be a good luck charm, because on Christmas Eve, I got a call from a movie producer who wanted to adapt my novel to a movie. The contract was gonna pay millions. Finally, I was making my big break as an author. We celebrated that special Christmas with a big feast. And boy was my mom and Nancy surprised when Keith showed up. What's your chauffeur doing here? Chauffeur? No, everyone meet Keith, my boyfriend, who, by the way, was just promoted to the overall manager of Edgar's Market. Yep, that had been decided by Edgar, the CEO. Welcome to the family, Keith.